Hey guys, welcome to Green Bean Fiction. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku faced zombie apocalypse and had harem movie. Before starting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are interested in MHA fanfictions. This story is MHA Apocaliptico IzukuxHarem by Izuku Kaneki 450. This is a translation of a Spanish story, so there can be some grammatical errors. Now without wasting any more time, let's dive in. My name is Izuku Midoriya and I'm 16 years old. I love being with my mom. I don't have any friends because I was never social. I was always too nervous to talk to anyone. Hurry up, honey, you don't want to be late on your first day, Inko said. Okay, Mom, I shouted from my room. Today is my first day at UA High School. I put on my uniform and red shoes. As I was walking out the door, my mom stopped me and said, "Please try to make some friends, honey, and who knows, maybe you'll even find someone who will fall in love with you," she said. Mom, please," I said, embarrassed. She laughed and kissed me on the forehead. "Have fun, honey," she said. "Bye, Mom," I said as I headed to UA High School. Izuku's POV. After so much time, it's hard to believe I'm here. As I stand in front of classroom 1A, I wonder why the door is so big. Before I open the door, I hear screams in the room. "Take your feet off the desk. You're destroying school property," someone said. "Don't tell me what to do, Four Eyes," I hear as I walk into the classroom. I see Bakugo arguing with a man with glasses who is violently shaking his arms. Bakugo sees me and yells, "What the fuck are you doing here, Deku?" That's Bakugo. He's my childhood friend and my stalker. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're friends or not because he always yells at me like he wants to kill me. Kachan, I'm a student here," I said, trying not to die. He lunged at me, yelling, "Deku," but was stopped by a man with spiky red hair. "Whoa, calm down, bro. It's not manly to attack someone for no reason," he said to Kachan. "Who the hell do you think you are, you crappy hair?" he said to the spiky redhead. "But we have the same hair," he said to Kachan. "Shut up." When the bell rang, someone came out from under the teacher's desk, saying, "Shut up and sit down." We all sat down, and the man with glasses said, "Who are you, sir, and why are you under our teacher's desk?" The man tells him to be quiet, saying, "I'm Aizawa, and I'm your teacher." After introducing himself, we all sat down, waiting for further instructions. "Anyway, today is your first day, so introduce yourself." "But, Mr. Aizawa, what about orientation?" a girl with short brown hair asked. "My class, my rules," he said. "I don't care about the orientation." "Anyway, introduce yourself so we can continue with today's class," he said, crawling into his yellow sleeping bag, falling face first onto the floor, and rolling under his desk. Everyone introduces themselves except me, so I walk over and introduce myself. "I'm Izuku Midoriya, and I hope we all get along," I said with a smile. After sitting down, I noticed the girls looking at me, their faces slightly red. I waved and smiled at them, but they all looked away immediately. Did I do something wrong? I thought. Girls' POV. "Oh my god, he's so cute." Izuku's POV. After that, Mr. Aizawa stood up and started class. Time jump. School was over, and I was getting ready to go home. While standing in the hallway, one of our classmates approached me. Excuse me, you're Izuku, right?" she asked. Oh, yeah, that's my name. "You're Mina, right?" I replied. "Yes, it's me," he said with a wide smile. Something you needed?" I said, blushing slightly. "Yes, I wanted to know if we could walk together," he said. "Oh, of course, I don't see why not," and we both started walking home together. As we walked, we both talked, and I enjoyed our conversation. She really seemed to love dancing. I don't know how to dance, but she said she'd love to teach me how. After we arrived at her house, we exchanged contact information and said our goodbyes. After talking to her, I felt good about talking to a girl. Wait. I just talked to a girl, I thought as I ran home blushing. Mina's POV. As I closed the door, I ran to my room and locked the door. I sat on my bed and thought about Izuku. I'm so happy right now. He's so cute and sweet, I thought as I put on my pajamas. I can't wait to see him again tomorrow. Izuku. It was the next day and I was excited to go to school today because Mina was so nice, so I wanted to talk to her more. She was fun to talk to. Inko. Good morning, honey, you seem excited today. Izuku. Yeah, I made a new friend yesterday and she was nice. Inko. Wait, did you say her? Izuku. Oh, why yes, why? Inko. My little one is growing so fast, she said as she began to hug Izuku with all her strength. Izuku. Mom, my back, time skip, Izuku. My back was still hurting when my mom let go of me, she has a strong grip. As I was walking, I saw Mina walking towards school. Hi, Mina. Mina. Oh, good morning, Izuku. I'm so happy to see you again. Your appearance just made my day, Izuku. Same here. Anyway, do you want to walk to school together? Mina. Of course. Third point of view. They both started talking and walking to school together, enjoying their time together. While Mina was talking to Midoriya, she tripped and was about to fall to the ground, but Midoriya caught her and held her. Izuku. Are you okay? Mina was speechless as Midoriya held her. His face began to throb and his heart beat faster as if it was about to explode. They both looked into each other's eyes, both of them starting to get closer to each other, inches from each other's faces. They both closed their eyes when their lips met, unwilling to let go, and continued kissing for the next 3 minutes, soon realizing they still had school. They slowly stopped kissing as they stared at each other. They let go, slightly annoyed because they wanted to stay hugged longer. Mina. Wow, that was amazing, she said while still blushing. Izuku. Why yeah, that was my first kiss, he said while still blushing like a tomato. Mina. It was mine. They both got ready and proceeded to walk to school. They remained silent for a while until Mina spoke. Mina. So what does this make us? She said, worried that she had made him feel uncomfortable. Izuku. Well, I've never been in a relationship before, so this is something new for me. Mina. So, does this mean we're a couple? Izuku. Why yeah, I guess so. Mina was happy to be with Midoriya, he was so kind, sweet and cute. He slowly took her hand and they both held hands as they walked to Ua. Mina put her head on his shoulder and they both were happy with each other. Meanwhile, as the new couple heads to Ua, we spot a girl who also has a thing for our green broccoli. Jiro. I wonder how Izuku is doing, maybe I should ask him if we can meet up later. She thought to herself before Momo will approach her and start talking to her. Momo. Good morning Jiro. Jiro. Good morning Yaoyorozu. The two talked for a while and Hagakure joined Momo and Jiro. Also, since he is invisible in the anime, he has long white hair with blue eyes. Hagakure. Hello girls. Momo and Jiro. Good morning Hagakure. They talk for a while until Hagakure asks the two girls a question. Hagakure. So what do you guys think of Izuku? As she asked them, they both blushed thinking about Midoriya. Jiro. Well, I guess it's kind of cute. Hagakure. A little. I'd hug that cutie with all my might. Momo. I mean, I'd have to agree with Hagakure, she's adorable. They then start talking about Izuku until a perverted grape walks towards them. Mineta. Hey girls, the girls. Who are you guys? Mineta. A guy who will rock your world tonight. As he said this, the girls started looking at him in pure disgust and in a matter of moments he flew into a wall. After that, the door opened and it was revealed that it was Mina and Izuku standing next to each other holding hands. The girls saw this and were upset that Mina got to the green broccoli first before they had a chance to talk to him. As the couple started to go to their seats, Mina noticed that the girls, including Sue and Uraraka, were upset and she knew why they were upset. Mina. Hey girls, are you okay? You seem depressed. Hagakure. You just took the cutest man in the world before we had a chance. Mina. Oh, sorry. The girls started talking about Izuku and then Mina secretly comes up with a plan to reunite Izuku and the girls. The bell rings and Aizawa emerges from the vents in his yellow sleeping bag. Aizawa. Okay, class, are you ready for your 7 hours of torture? The class Izuku. Fuck, Izuku. Torture? A few hours passed and the class was almost over until the class heard an alarm. The class. What's going on? Principal Nezu. Please remain calm and stay in your classroom, this is not a drill. Mina. What's going on? The class begins to ask questions until a scream scares everyone. Aizawa locks the door so no one can get in. And the class starts to panic. Mina. Izuku, I'm scared. He said as he went to hug Izuku, who is also scared but focuses on comforting Mina. Izuku. I'm not sure, but just hold on to me and close your eyes. I'll be with you for as long as it takes. He hugged her to make her feel better while the others continued to freak out. Bakugo. What the fuck is going on there? He yelled, making the class even more scared. Mina, on the other hand, was in the comfort of Izuku's warmth. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Everyone froze, even Aizawa. The knocking became louder and more violent, causing the class to panic. Mina started squeezing Izuku tighter to make himself feel better. Izuku was starting to feel a little pain, but he ignored it so he could feel better. Suddenly, it stopped, and everyone waited to see what would happen. After a while, it was still quiet, so Kirishima decided to call the police, but there was no service. The class. What? Everyone checked their phones and there was no signal for any of them. Then Hagakure looked out the window and saw something that scared her so much she almost fell. Hagakure. Guys. Everyone looked at her and she pointed out the window. They saw the most terrifying sight they had ever seen. Students were eating other students and the city was in sight. They saw buildings on fire, smoke in the sky and people running and panicking. Izuku. Oh God. Everyone was speechless. Mina was crying in fear because her family was dead. Others were also worried about the family, even Bakugo was afraid that his family was in danger. Aizawa. This can't be real. Everyone was in shock and Izuku was extremely scared that his mother was in danger and he wasn't there to help her. He started crying thinking his mother was dead, so he hugged Mina and cried with her. Some were panicking and others were crying, it was all they could do. After a few hours of waiting, it got dark. Some of the classmates were still asleep. Mina was in Izuku's arms as they slept. The girls hugged each other, and the rest were either asleep or awake, worried that their family would fall asleep. Aizawa was awake watching his class sleep and making sure nothing came through that door. The next morning, Izuku woke up early, thinking about what he had to do while playing with Mina's hair. He needed to know if his mother was okay, but he didn't want to leave Mina alone without him. Mina woke up later and saw Izuku deep in thought while playing with her hair. She liked it, so she closed her eyes and rested a little longer. Then she felt Izuku's hand stop moving. Then she heard Izuku say something. Izuku. What do I do? Mina. What do you mean? Izuku jumped a little and looked at Mina, then sighed in relief. Izuku. Oh, I didn't know you were awake. Did I wake you up? Mina. No, you didn't, but what do you mean, what do I do? Izuku. I need to know if my mom is okay, but I don't want to leave you alone without you. Mina. I'll go with you. I don't want to leave you alone out there. Izuku. Are you sure? It could be dangerous and I wouldn't be able to live with myself if you got hurt because of me. Mina. I'm sure of this. I don't want to leave you. Izuku. Okay, then we'll leave when everyone wakes up. Mina. It's okay, she said, kissing him on the lips. Mina loved him too much to leave him out there alone. I'll always be by your side, even if that means it's the end. Then they closed their eyes and went back to sleep. After the events of yesterday, the class wakes up thinking it was a dream until they realize they're still in class. They look out the window and see zombies wandering around the schoolyard through their window. Kirishima. So it wasn't a nightmare. The class fell silent, wondering what they should do next. Should they leave the school grounds? Should they wait for help? While this was happening, Mina and Izuku woke up and went to Aizawa to tell him their plan. Aizawa. Are you planning on going to see if your mom is okay? Izuku. Yes, Mr. Aizawa, she's the only family I have left. I need to know if she's okay. Aizawa thought for a moment about whether he should let his students Izuku and Mina go. He knew that if he said no, Broccoli wouldn't care and would leave anyway. So, after thinking about it for a while, he came up with a solution. Aizawa. If you're going out, You'd better take a small group with you in case something happens. Izuku. Okay, Mr. Aizawa. He said as he walked away to ask some of the students to join him. After asking most of the class, the ones who went with him and Mina were Jiro, Hagakure, and surprisingly, Bakugo. Izuku. Wait, Kachan, are you coming too? Why? He asked the angry Pomarian. Bakugo. I'm not going to let those monsters keep my aunt. He said to the broccoli, who was surprised that he cared. Bakugo. Why do you look surprised, silly Deku? Izuku. I just thought you didn't care. Bakugo. What the fuck did you say? After the conversation, the group began walking around the school and, after being nearly caught several times, managed to leave the school. They arrived at Izuku's house only to see the door broken. Izuku. No, he said as he ran towards the house. Mina and Bakugo followed him into the house. The others stayed outside to make sure the zombies didn't get close. Izuku searched everywhere. The kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, and his room. He couldn't find her until he heard something coming from Inko's room. Bakugo and Mina heard the sudden knock, and ran towards the noise to see Izuku holding the zombies that were on top of him. Bakugo thought fast and kicked the zombie off Izuku, then lifted Izuku up only to see the zombie immediately get up and charge at them again while Izuku and Bakugo were holding the zombie. Mina was watching all this and ran into the kitchen to get a knife. The zombie lunged at Bakugo with its arm but Bakugo ducked underneath it. Him and punched the zombie in the stomach, which didn't affect the zombie at all. The zombie grabbed Bakugo and tried to bite him, but Izuku pushed it away and threw it to the ground. Mina came into the hallway with a knife in her hand and gave it to Izuku. As the zombie was getting up, Bakugo kicked the zombie and knocked it to the ground, holding it so Izuku could finish it off. Bakugo. Hurry up, Deku. He said while holding the zombie. The others outside heard what was happening and came in to see Bakugo holding a zombie and Izuku walking towards Bakugo and the zombie. Izuku approached the zombie and was about to kill it until he froze. He was about to kill someone, he thought, until Bakugo noticed this and said. Bakugo. You damn idiot. I'm not alive anymore, hurry up. Izuku heard this and knew she was right, but for some reason it was still hard to do. Bakugo yelled at him once more to kill the zombie and Izuku did exactly that. Izuku shoved the knife into the back of the zombie's skull. Kill the zombie instantly. They both got up and walked away from the zombie and saw that it was no longer moving. They looked closer and it was Izuku's neighbor who lived across the street from his house. Izuku. Wait, if he was here, where's my Mo? He was interrupted when he and the others heard a noise in Inko's room. The group heard this, and Bakugo took the knife and walked with the group toward Inko's room. They looked around and heard a noise coming from the closet. Bakugo told Izuku to open the door as he was ready to attack whoever was in the closet. Izuku slowly opens the door and when it opens fully, they see Inko holding a knife pointing it at the closet. Inko. Katsuki, he said in a tired tone. It seemed like he hadn't been able to sleep in recent days. Izuku. Mom, he said as he looked in the closet with the others. Inko. My baby, she said as she stood up and hugged Izuku with all her strength. She cried into his shoulder, and he was relieved that his mother was okay. When Mina and the others saw this emotional reunion, Inko noticed them and asked Izuku. Inko. Honey, who are these people? Izuku. They're my classmates, they came with me to look for you. He said, still hugging his mother. The girls. Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you, miss. Inko. Inko. My name is Inko and it's a pleasure to meet you girls too. Bakugo. We should stay here for a while because it's getting dark. Izuku. But what's wrong with the door? It's broken. Bakugo. I'll stay awake and watch the door, you guys get some rest. Izuku. Are you sure about this, Kachan? Bakugo. Shut up and go rest already, you damn dek. He broke off when he felt a chill run down his spine. He looked where it was coming from only to see Izuku's mother and the girls glare at him. Bakugo. I mean I'm sure about your Izuku. Izuku. Why you called me by my real name? Bakugo. Shut up, damn it. He then received another death glare from Inko and the girls, so he ran out of the room. They all sat in the living room talking to each other. Bakugo blocked the door with a desk and covered the windows with cardboard from the basement. They all talked for a while until Inko noticed how close Mina was to her baby broccoli. Inko. Mina, am I right? Mina. Oh, yes, ma'am. Do you need anything? Inko. Are you Izuku's girlfriend? As she said this, Izuku and Mina turned red. She said that out of nowhere she caught them by surprise. While the girls were a little jealous upon hearing this. While Bakugo simply didn't give a damn about what was going on. Izuku. Mama, she said while blushing so much that steam was coming out of her head. Mina. I mean I'm his non-girlfriend but. Inko interrupted her saying. Inko. I accept you now. While saying this, Izuku blushed hard and Mina was blushing. Everyone started to sleep. Inko was sleeping on a blanket on the couch. Jiro and Hagakure were sleeping on the floor with pillows. While Bakugo was still awake making sure no zombies attacked them. Izuku and Mina got ready for bed. Mina asked Izuku a question. Mina. Me, Izuku. SC, he said while still getting used to being called Izu. Mina. If another girl liked you, what would you do? Izuku started to blush but then answered her question. Izuku. Well, I wouldn't love you any less if that's what you mean. Mina. So if a girl told you she liked you, would you say yes? Izuku. Only if you're okay with it. Mina smiled a little and kissed Izuku. After their makeout session ended, they crawled into a blanket and began cuddling. Izuku. Carrying minds, he said as he gave her a quick kiss on the forehead. Mina. I love you to my broccoli, he said as he kissed her on the cheek. As they slowly fell asleep, Mina was happy that her plan was coming to fruition, as her plan was to reunite Izuku and the other girls. Meanwhile with Class 1A, they were playing 1 and Kirishima was kicking ass. Kirishima. Rabar +4. 0. I quit, he said as he threw his card on the desk and curled up in a ball crying because he had 2 cards on his desk. Denki. Damn, how are you so good? Kirishima. I just believed in the heart of the cards. Denki. But we're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Kirishima. Uno. He said as he left his last letter. Denki. Damn it, he said as he turned over the desk with the letters. Aizawa just stood there witnessing everything that had happened. Aizawa. Damn problem children, he said while lying in his yellow sleeping bag. As for the girls, they did their own thing. Momo was drawing, Ochako was looking at the stars from the window, and Sue was watching the boys play Uno. Kirishima. Do you want to play? Sorry. Zero. We don't even have to play, he said as he watched Kirishima empty his backpack onto the floor revealing a pile of board games. The others saw this and stared at Kirishima. The class. Denki. How did you manage to fit all that in there? He said as he looked inside Kirishima's bag trying to figure out how the heck Kirishima had all those games. Kirishima. Magia, he said as he took out decks of cards from his pockets. Zero. Magic my ass. While they are playing together, we move on to another class that is listening to the antics of Class 1A. Guys, do you hear that? Why yes. Do you think there are still people alive? Maybe. Okay Class 1B we will review it first thing in the morning. Class 1B. Okay, Mr. Vlad. The next morning, Izuku, Mina, Inko, Bakugo, Jiro, and Hagakure woke up and prepared to return to Ua. Before leaving, they took what they could from Izuku's house, such as food, water, blankets, and pillows. While Izuku was looking around the basement, he knocked something over. He looked at what fell to the ground and saw a wooden baseball bat with his name carved into it. Izuku. Is that my baseball bat? He said as he picked it up. I haven't played baseball in so long. I stopped playing since Bakugo stopped playing with me. He was the only one who played with me until he stopped playing with me. I still haven't figured out why we stopped playing. I was pretty good at hitting when I used to play baseball. He decided to take it with him in case he comes into contact with more zombies. Also, should he keep calling them zombies or something else? Let me know if I should call zombies something else. Calling them that makes me feel stupid for some reason. As they walk out of the building, Izuku stops and says something to the group. Izuku. Guys, see you at UA. Mina. What? Why? Izuku. I don't think we have enough supplies for the whole class, so I want to explore a little and find more food and water. Inko. Are you sure, honey? We can go with you. Juro. Yeah, we can go exploring together. Hagakure. Yes, we should stay together. Izuku. No, I'll be fine on my own. I promise I'll come back unharmed. Mina approaches Izuku and kisses him on the lips. Mina. Come home safely, okay? Izuku. I promise, he says while ruffling her hair. The group returns to UA while Izuku goes to explore the city. Meanwhile with Class 1A, Kirishima is wiping the floor with Siro while he kicks his ass in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the rest look on in surprise at how good Kirishima is at games. Suddenly they hear a knock at the door. Everyone drops what they're doing and heads for the door. Tokiyami. Should we open the door? Sue. It could be a zombie. Kirishima. Let's open it, but take something to defend yourself with just in case. They grabbed some books and when Kirishima opened the door, they threw books at the open door. They looked to see who they had hit and it was one of the students from Monomo's Class 1B. I don't know if I got his name right. As they watched the unconscious boy on the floor, they saw Vlad, the teacher of Class 1B. Vlad. Class 1A. Lord Vlad. Kirishima. I thought we were the only ones alive. Vlad. We did too until we heard someone shout, I believe in the heart of the cards. The entire Class 1A stares at Kirishima, who is still holding Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Aizawa. Get in quickly before some zombie sees you. After their meeting, they introduce themselves to Class 1B. Tetsu, Kendo, Setsuna, Honi, Yui, Monomo, Mei and the rest of the girls from Class 1B since I can't remember their names. Mei isn't in Class 1B, but you'll find out why she's with them. Mei. I'm Mei Hatsume, a support course student. Momo. Wait, then why are you with the students from Class 1B of your support course? Mei. I was being chased by zombies and Class 1B saved me. Momo. Oh, then that makes sense. Sorry for asking. Mei. No problem. As they begin to talk they hear another knock at the door. Bakugo. Open the damn door. Kirishima. I'm Bakugro. Open the door quickly. The group enters the classroom and sees Classroom 1B. They started introducing themselves until one of the girls noticed that Izuku wasn't in the group. Ochako. Wait, where's Izuku? Inko. She wants to explore a little, but she'll be back soon. Everyone except Bakugo, Juro, Hagakure and Mina. Wait, who are you guys? Inko. My name is Inko Midoriya, Izuku's mother. The girls, except those in Class 1B, nice to meet you, Miss Inko. They started talking and one of the girls asked. Setsuna. Wait, who's Izuku? The girls who know Izuku tell the girls from Classes 1B about Izuku. Meanwhile, we go to see Izuku, who is walking around the city looking for supplies. He carried his backpack with him and his baseball bat hanging from it. He saw a supermarket and went in. There was a mess on the floor, the cupboards were destroyed, but there was no room left for food. She started putting food and drinks in her bag. Just as he was ready to leave, he heard something fall to the ground. He turned toward the noise and saw a zombie stumbling toward him. He pulled his baseball bat from the side of his bag and slowly walked toward the zombie. They both informed each other and the zombie attacked Izuku first. Izuku ducked and kicked the zombie in the leg, causing it to fall to its knees. Izuku then swung his bat at the zombie causing its head to explode from the impact. Izuku. I knew he was a good swinger, but I didn't know he was that good, he said to himself as he started to leave the market. Izuku. I should head back to UA before dark, he said to himself as he stood near UA. But as he headed to the UA he heard someone throwing a trash can. He turned towards the noise and had his bat in his hands just in case. He slowly made his way toward the noise and heard a sound like someone crying. He approached and saw a little girl with white hair and red eyes, wearing a gown with bandages on her arms and legs. Izuku. Hey, are you okay? He said trying not to scare the girl. Who are you? She said scared that Sue would get hurt. Izuku. I'm Izuku Midoriya. And you are, he said while putting away his bag. Eri. My name is Eri. Izuku. What a pretty name, he said with a smile brighter than the sun. When Eri saw his smile, she began to calm down. Izuku. Where are your parents? He asked, worried for Eri's safety. Eri. I don't know where they are. They told me to run and hide. He said as he began to cry. Izuku. Don't cry, he said as he tried to calm her down. Eri started crying and ran to Izuku's side to hug him. Izuku let her hold him because he wanted to comfort her. As she hugged him, she felt safe with him and began to calm down, eventually falling asleep in his arms. Izuku. Are you feeling better, Eri? He said as he looked at her only to realize she was asleep. Then he decided to take her with him and realized that the sun had already set. He knew that if he went ahead, he would put him and Eri in danger. He looked for a place to rest for the night and saw a motel that looked abandoned. He held his bat in one hand and Eri in the other and began looking for a room to rest. As he looked around, he saw a room with an open door, so he slowly headed in. It seemed like there was a fight going on. The door was in good condition, so he closed and locked it. He put Eri on the bed and started checking the room. There were no zombies, so he decided to rest there for the night. He took off his backpack and closed the broken curtains, then looked at Eri. She was moving in bed with tears in her eyes and said, Eri. Dad. Izuku approached her and gave her a hug to calm her down, and it worked. She calmed down and slept peacefully. But when he tried to let go of her, she wouldn't let go and started crying. Then he decided to let her hug him and soon after they fell asleep. Meanwhile, with Class 1A and B, the girls and Inko began to worry about Izuku. Mina. I should have come back, right? Kirishima. It's dark so maybe he went somewhere to rest for the night. Juru. Yes, you're right. Izuku promised us he'd come back. Momo. I'm still a little worried that he's hurt or worse. The girls sat in silence thinking the worst until Kirishima had an idea to lighten the mood. He pulled out the bingo card and asked everyone if they wanted to play bingo. Denki. Where did you get this from? Kirishima. Male magic. Bakugo. I will destroy you in bingo, he said as he walked angrily towards Kirishima. Bakugo. Give me that shit, he said as he took a board from him. Denki. I'll play too, Zero. I'm fine, I don't want to lose for the 76th time. Some other classmates also joined in and played a few rounds. Tetsu. Bakubro, how are you so manly at bingo? Kirishima. So manly, he said as a manly tear flowed from the side of his eye. Denki. Damn, I haven't won even once, he said while on the ground crying. Monimo. Damn, how can I be surpassed by a 1A student? He said as he fell to the ground and bowed his head in shame. Meanwhile, the girls from 1A and B asked Mina about Izuku and she told them what she thought of him. Mina. Well, he's someone I've never met before. He cares a lot about others, he's cute when he gets nervous. I can't explain how wonderful it is to be around him. The girls couldn't wait to meet him when he returned. Meanwhile we return to Izuku who is sleeping with Eri on his chest. Eri is having a nightmare and starts crying and thrashing. This wakes Izuku up, and he wakes her up. Izuku. Eri. Ah, she screamed as she jumped and punched Izuku in the face. Izuku. Eri. Oh no, I'm so sorry, he said as he was about to cry. Izuku. It's okay, Eri, I'm fine, see, he said while giving her his biggest smile yet. Eri started to calm down and Izuku started asking her what she was dreaming about. Izuku. What happened? Why were you crying? He asked her in a calm and quiet tone. Eri. There were people who were hurting other people and attacking me and I couldn't move. He said as he hugged Izuku. He began stroking her head as he lay down with her. After a while of calming her down, she began to fall back asleep before hearing Izuku say. Izuku. I'll never let anyone hurt you, Eri, he said as he fell asleep. It was early in the morning, and Eri was the first to wake up. She looked around and saw that she was in a room with Izuku still asleep. She started trying to wake him up, but he wouldn't wake up, and she started to get scared, thinking he was dead. She cried and begged Izuku to wake up, and Izuku woke up immediately after hearing her scream his name. Izuku. Eri, he says, shouting. Eri. Dad, she screams as she hugs him. Dad? He thought to himself as he heard her call him Dad. Izuku. Eri, why did you call me Dad? He asks her, still surprised that she called him Dad. Eri. I am sorry, please don't be mad at me, she cried as she was about to start crying. Izuku. And no, it's okay. I'm not angry, just surprised, that's all. Eri. Are you serious? Izuku. Of course I would never get mad at you, he said, stroking her head. Izuku. But I still want to know why you called me Dad. Eri. Well. Whenever I'm around you, I feel safe, like when I was with Dad, she said, looking down. Izuku slowly approached her and gave her a hug. Izuku. It's okay, Eri. If you're happy with me being your father, I won't mind if you call me Dad, he said while tapping her on the nose. She laughed and gave him a big hug. They hugged for a while until Izuku said. Izuku. Okay Eri, it's time to go. Wait here while I get my things, okay? Eri. Okay, Dad, she said as she sat on the bed waiting for Izuku. Izuku got up and grabbed his bat and backpack. As he put on his backpack he looked at the closet, and next to the bed he and Eri were sleeping. He decides to check the closet and finds jackets and clothes that seem to be girl-sized, and a green bunny stuffed animal. What a coincidence. He gave the clothes to Eri and told her to change. When he went to change his clothes in the bathroom he looked further in the closet, and to his surprise he found a pocket knife. Why the heck was there a pocket knife in a motel room? He thought to himself as he decided to put the knife back in his pocket. Shortly after Eri got ready, she looked down and saw that she was wearing a white shirt with a ruffled collar and a simple red apron with 2 large gold buttons on either side of her chest. Eri came out of the bathroom and walked towards Izuku. Izuku. Aw, you look adorable, Snowball, he said while petting her head. She laughed as Izuku petted her and gave her a hug. Izuku. And look what I found, baby, he said as he pulled out a green bunny plushie. Eri. Wow, thanks Dad, he said as he grabbed the stuffed animal and gave it a hug. Izuku was ready, and so was Eri. He took Eri's hand as they left the motel, and the two of them started walking back to Ua. Meanwhile we go to the class where we were talking to each other for a while. Mina. I hope Izuku is okay, she said as she looked out the window to see if he was there. The girls were also with Mina, wondering if Izuku was okay. Inko paced back and forth across the room, worried about her son. She thought about going out to look for him until Aizawa walked up to her. Aizawa. I know you're worried about your son, but I know he's okay. Inko. How are you sure it's okay? Aizawa. I have a feeling it's okay. Vlad joined Aizawa and Inko and started talking about leaving Ua. Inko. No, I won't leave until my son is here. Vlad. I know, but we should still think about where we should go. Aizawa. Vlad is right, the class is too small for our students. Meanwhile, as they started talking about where they should move to next, we cut back to Izuku, who is on the Ua grounds. He and Eri are walking in the building on their way to class. As they walk, he and Eri hear someone screaming. This scares Eri, and Izuku sees this and lightly squeezes her hand to calm her down. Izuku. Stay behind me, Eri, he says as Eri listens and goes after Izuku. Izuku can see a girl with long blue hair running in his direction to get away from 2 zombies. She sees Izuku and screams for help. He tells the girl to stay with Eri while he prepares to fight the 2 zombies. One zombie was farther away from the other, and the zombie leaps at Izuku. Izuku blocks the zombie with his bat to keep it away from him and pushes it away. The other zombie attacks him from behind, and he ducks under the attack and swings his bat upward, hitting the zombie in the jaw. The zombie falls to the ground, not dead, but knocked down. The other zombie surprises Izuku by pushing him to the ground and knocking his bat out of his hands. As Izuku falls to the ground, the pocket knife he found a while ago falls out of his pocket. He's struggling to get the zombie off of him, and as he's struggling, he sees the other zombie crawling towards him. He can't break free of the zombie's grip. He sees the knife Early had on the ground next to him and tries to reach for it. He can't grab it, and the other zombie comes and tries to bite him. He holds both zombies by their necks, trying to keep them at bay. Until the blue-haired girl picks up the knife from the ground and stabs the zombie in the back, killing it. Izuku pushes the limp zombie towards the other one, trapping it underneath him. He gets up, grabs his bat and proceeds to hit the zombie's skull. Both zombies are dead and Izuku is tired of the fight. Izuku. Thanks for helping me, he said, still trying to catch his breath. I should be thanking you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be alive right now. Eri. Dad, are you okay? She asked, hugging Izuku. Izuku. I'm fine, honey, I'm just tired, he said, patting her head. Dad? She asked Izuku, surprised that he called her dad. Izuku. She calls me dad because I remind her of her father, he said, whispering to her. Oh, that makes more sense. Izuku. Anyway, may I know your name? He asked the blue-haired girl. Najire. My name is Najire, nice to meet you. Izuku. Izuku Midoriya, he said with a bright smile. When Najire saw his smile, she blushed at how beautiful his smile was. Izuku. Hey, Najire, are you okay? Your face is red, he said while placing his hand on his forehead. She blushed even more until they heard more zombies coming. Izuku. Follow me, Najire, I know a safe place for you to hide, he said as he put away his bat and picked up Eri. Najire. Yeah, okay, I'll go with you, she said as she ran with Izuku towards the classroom. They're playing Uno with the class while the adults talk about going somewhere else. They hear someone knocking on the door. Izuku. I'm Izuku. Open up, Mina, Izu. She said as she ran to the door and opened it, revealing Izuku holding a girl in his arms, and behind him was a girl with blue hair. Aizawa and Vlad. Come in quickly, they both shouted. Izuku entered the classroom with Eri in his arms and Najire followed him. They lock the door and catch their breath. Everyone starts bombarding Izuku with questions like, where were you? What happened? Are you okay? Until Eri says, Eri, Dad, who are they? He says, hiding in Izuku's chest. The class. Dad? Everyone screams, scaring Eri. Izuku gives them a murderous look while mouthing the words, shut up. The class is startled by his gaze and immediately falls silent. Izuku. It's okay, Eri. They're my friends, he tells Eri in a calm tone. Eri. It's okay, she says as she begins to fall asleep. She was tired of walking so much that she fell asleep. Izuku asks Mina if he can take a blanket and a pillow out of her bag. Mina searches her bag and finds what Izuku asked for. Izuku tells her to make a bed for Eri, and she does. He lays her down, covers her up, and kisses her forehead before leaving to speak to the class. The class sees how Izuku literally became a father at this moment. Kirishima and Tetsu are talking about how manly he is. While the girls look at him blushing, they told them he was cute, but they blushed at how good a father he was to Eri. They then started daydreaming about him being the father of their children and started blushing and were redder than Kirishima's hair. Mineta. Asshole, you're taking all the girls. He thought to himself. Mina. Izu, she said as she jumped on Izuku and showered him with kisses. The girls saw this and got jealous. Mina. Are you okay? Where were you? What took you so long to come back? She was interrupted by Izuku as he placed his finger on her lips. Izuku. Calm down, Mina, I'm fine. He said as he removed his finger from his lips. Mina. Okay, but who's the little girl? And why did she call you dad? She asked Izuku. Mineta. You did it with another girl. Was interrupted by a kick to the head from Jiro. Izuku. What? No, I found her when I was exploring the city. The girls were relieved that Izuku hadn't done the same thing to another girl. Izuku. She calls me dad because I remind her of her father and I'm okay with that. Mina. Oh, that's sweet of you, Izu, she said as she kissed him on the cheek. The girls started getting angry because Izuku was with Mina. Mina saw this and decided it was time to put her plan into action. Aizawa. Midoriya, can Vlad and I talk to you for a moment? He said to Izuku. Izuku. Claro Sr. Aizawa. He said, giving Mina a kiss on the cheek before leaving, blushing a little. Mina blushed at Izuku's sudden kiss and was very happy. He then approached the girls and started talking to them. Mina. Hey girls, can you follow me? She asked the girls and they followed her. They reached the corner of the room and Jiro asked Mina a question. Jiro. What's up, girl? Mina. I know you girls like Izu. The girls started blushing, trying to deny that they had feelings for Izuku. Mina. Don't lie to me, I can see it on your faces. Najire. Okay, I'll do it. She said, looking down. Jiro. Me too, he said, looking away. Kendo. Why yes, you're right. He said, holding his arm. Pony. Why yes, he said, playing with his fingers. Setsuna. Damn, I do it too, she said, blushing. Hagakuri. Who wouldn't like him? He's so cute, handsome, and did you see what he did with Eri? That was amazing. I could imagine having a family with him, she said, blushing while holding her face. The rest of the girls agree that they had feelings for Izuku. Mina. Do you girls really love him? The girls. With all our hearts. Mina was silent and the girls were afraid that Mina would get angry with them until they heard her laugh. Mina. Ha 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 ha, she started laughing as the girls looked at her in confusion. Mina. Ha, I knew you liked it and I think it's okay to share it, she said, wiping the tear from her eye. The girls. What? The girls screamed but closed their mouths as they remembered that Eri was still asleep. Mina. Yes, I have no problem sharing it with you. I'm sure he won't mind either. The girls. Are you sure he'd mind? They said, blushing. Mina. I'm sure of this, she said, pulling all the girls into a group hug, and they hugged her back. Meanwhile, Aizawa Traho, Izuku, Vlad and Inko. Inko. I'm so glad you're back, baby, she said as she gave him a big hug. Izuku. Why yes, me to mom. Aizawa. Now the reason I brought you here is because we wanted to know if you found a suitable place to move to. Izuku. Well, I came across a motel that looked abandoned, but I'm sure we can fix it up. The adults then agreed that in the morning they would go to the motel and let Izuku return to class. Izuku went to check on Eri to see if she was okay, and she was sleeping peacefully. He kissed her forehead and began stroking her head, making her smile as she slept. Mina. Psst Izu. Mina whispered to Izuku, getting his attention. He stood up and walked over to Mina. As she gave him a hug, he said, Mina. Follow me for a second. Izuku followed her and arrived at the corner of the room with the girls. Izuku. What did you need, Mina? Mina. Actually, it's not me who needs you. It's the other girls. They want to tell you something, she said, pushing him toward the girls. Izuku. Is there anything you girls need? He asked, blushing since he was next to many girls. The girls. Izuku. They said because they were nervous. Izuku. SC. The girls. We love you. The girls shouted to Izuku. Izuku. What? He said, blushing so much it was brighter than the sun. The girls. We love you, Izuku. The girls said, looking down. Izuku didn't know what to say. He looked at Mina, who was smiling and giving him a thumbs up. He wouldn't lie. He had feelings for all the girls, he just didn't ask since he had Mina. But she seemed to want this to happen, so he spoke, saying, Izuku. I love you girls too. He said, blushing because he liked so many girls. The girls looked up and cried with joy as they jumped on Izuku. They showered him with kisses, and Izuku was completely blushing. Mina. Hey, let me in on this too, she said as she joined the girls in a kissing match. After that, Izuku fainted from being kissed so much. Kirishima and Tetsu looked at Izuku and both said, Kirishima and Tetsu, how manly. They said while crying manly tears. Everyone wakes up the next morning and starts thinking about what they should do today. While they think, Aizawa starts talking to the whole class. Aizawa. Okay, class, listen up. The class turns its attention to the sleep-deprived teacher. Aizawa. We can't stay here anymore. The class is too small for all of us, but luckily Midoriya found a place for us to stay for a while. So grab what you need and we'll leave when we're ready. As he said this, everyone started packing their things. With Izuku, he went to see Eri, while Kirishima was having a hard time fitting all his games into his bag. Zero. How can you have all those games in your bag and not be able to return them? Christina. Magic. he said as he struggled to save his games. Denki. Here, I'll help you carry some of them, he said as he packed some of the games into his bag. Kirishima. Thank you, Kamibro. While they were packing up some games, Todoroki was minding his own business, staring out the window, since he had nothing else to do. And with Izuku, he was playing with Eri. Running with Eri on his shoulders. Eri. Faster, Dad. Faster, she said as she and Izuku laughed. The girls were watching and smiled at the scene of Izuku and Eri, looking like a father and daughter playing together. Everyone was ready to leave and started following Izuku to the motel, since they knew where it was. Eri walked next to Izuku holding his hand, as she didn't want to be away from him. After walking for a while they arrived at the motel. And they started looking around to make sure it was safe. Izuku. Eri, can you stay with Jiro please? Eri. Is she my mom? Jiro listened and began to blush heavily. Izuku. Why yes, she's mom. He said blushing even more than Kirishima's hair. The harem. Hey, what's up with us? Eri. Do I have more dad than mom? Izuku. Why yes, he said while covering his face with his arms. Eri. Yes, she said as she ran towards the girls. After Izuku calmed down, he started checking the place out with Bakugo. Izuku walked toward the rooms on the first floor. He held his bat in his hand and handed Bakugo the pocket knife. As they were about to open the door to the first room, Bakugo stopped and asked a question. Bakugo. Is that your baseball bat? The one we used when we played catch together? Izuku. Yeah, I still keep it because it contains many good memories together. Bakugo. Yeah, they were good times. They both remained silent, remembering the moments they had spent together as children playing baseball. Izuku. Why? Bakugo. Why what? He said while looking at Izuku. Izuku. Why did you stop talking to me? He said looking down at his feet. Bakugo. Izuku. Dime. Bakugo. Remember when we used to walk through the forest together? When we were younger. Izuku began to remember when they were children and walked together through the forest. Flashback. Little Izuku. Wow, Kachan, you're so cool. Little Bakugo. Sure, and when we grow up I'll be the best baseball player. Little Izuku. Yes, Kachan. And I'll be by your side. Little Bakugo. We'll see Izuku. While talking, they crossed a log that was over a small river several feet deep. Bakugo went through the trunk first, but with the moss covering the trunk, he fell off it, causing him to fall into the small river. Little Izuku. Kachan. He said as he ran towards Kachan to help him. Little Bakugo sat in the water holding his head. Little Izuku. Are you okay, Kachan? He said as he reached out to help little Bakugo up. Little Bakugo looked up and saw Izuku looking at him, waiting for him to take his hand. Little Bakugo. Is he looking down on me? He thought to himself as Izuku looked at him with concern. Little Bakugo didn't want anyone's help. He didn't want to be the one who had to depend on others. He wanted to be the one who was respected, the one who could help anyone with a problem. Little Bakugo hit little Izuku's hand and pulled it away screaming. Little Bakugo. Are you making me despair? He said standing up. Little Izuku. What no. I just wanted to help. Before he could finish, he was pushed to the ground and little Bakugo ran off, leaving little Izuku sitting in the water watching him run. Back to the present, Izuku looked at Bakugo with a surprised face, while Bakugo looked down at the ground. Izuku. Kachan, is that what you were thinking this whole time? Before Bakugo could open the door they were standing in front of, a loud noise was heard, causing the two to back away from the door. Izuku readied his bat and Bakugo readied his pocket knife to attack. Izuku told Bakugo to open the door and Bakugo understood. Bakugo had his hand on the doorknob and Izuku was ready to knock. Bakugo opened the door and a zombie fell to the ground. Izuku crushed its head, killing it almost instantly. Izuku. Kachan. He said while looking at Bakugo. Izuku. I never thought I was better than you. I looked up to you. I always knew you were better than me. Bakugo, with his back to Izuku, turned his head slightly towards Izuku, letting him know he was listening. Izuku. I'm not as brave or as strong as you. That's why I always thought you were so cool. You were the guy the first could look up to when I was down. You were the guy who inspired me to be better. I would never look down on someone who saved me from bullies. You were my hero and you still are. Both remained silent. Bakugo then walked away from Izuku and said, Bakugo, come on, we still have to check the rest of the rooms. Izuku, he said while smiling slightly, walking towards the next room. Izuku's eyes widened and he smiled as he ran towards Bakugo to continue his goal. After about an hour, the motel was secured and they began blocking the motel exits so the zombies couldn't get through anymore. Everyone started choosing rooms to sleep in. The girls took the upper floors while the boys took the rooms on the first floor. Izuku, guys, I think we should go get some food, he told the group of students. Inko, we can't now. It's getting dark. We'll go tomorrow when it's sunny outside. Izuku, it's okay mom, he said as he walked away towards Eri. Izuku, okay, Eri, we should get you ready for bed, he said as he picked her up. Eri, but dad, I want to play a little longer before I go to sleep. Please, she said, putting on her best puppy face. Izuku put his hand on his chest when he saw Eri's face. Izuku, oh okay, we can play a little. Eri, can our moms play with us too? Izuku, I don't know if we'll have to ask them first. Eri, okay, dad, she said as she ran towards her mom's house. Izuku, wait, Eri, he said as he ran after his daughter. After Eri asked the girls to play, they all agreed. They played together. As Izuku was Eri's horse, one of the girls was a princess and the rest were enemies. Najire, oh no, someone save me from the evil knights, she said in a dramatic tone. Eri, I'll save you, princess, he said raising his fist. Izuku stood up and started walking towards Najire, who was acting like a princess. Mina, not so fast, Eri the knight, she said as she stood in front of Izuku and Eri. Next to Mina were the rest of the girls. Juro, we've got you surrounded. Kendo, where can you go now? Izuku, nay, he said trying to imitate a horse. Eri, you're right, dad. I mean Izu, the horse. Show them how fast you are, she said as she tightened her grip on Izuku. Izuku whinnied and got into position. The girls surrounded Eri and Izuku and started running towards Izuku and Eri. Izuku ran towards the girls, dodging them as they jumped towards them. Remember, they were playing, that's why they jumped and ran playfully towards them. They walked past the girls and headed towards Najire. Najire, my hero, he said as he gave Eri a kiss on the forehead. Eri laughed and gave him a hug. Najire, and let us not forget your faithful place, she stayed as she walked toward him, giving him a kiss on the lips. Izuku was surprised to receive the kiss, who kissed him back. Izuku, it's time to go to sleep, Eri, he said as he lifted Eri into his arms. Eri, it's okay, dad, she said as she yawned and laid her head on his chest. Izuku, okay, girls, I should put Eri to bed. Setsuna, come on, honey, good night, she said as each of the girls gave her a kiss. He kissed them all back and said goodnight. He arrived at his room and got into bed with Eri and kissed her on the head before going to bed. Izuku, how did I get so lucky to have such a wonderful family? He said as he slowly fell asleep. The next morning we see that Izuku is already up and preparing to go look for some food. Denki wanted to go with Izuku, since he had nothing to do. Izuku asked Denki to make sure they had everything they needed while he went to ask the others what they should try to find. Denki agrees and Izuku goes with the others. Todoroki, Soba, Aizawa, coffee machine with coffee, Vlad, Kool-Aid, girls, clothes, Inko, those. Izuku received everyone's requests and went to Bakugo. Izuku, Kachan, can you watch Eri with the girls while I'm gone? Bakugo, yes, I'll make sure they're safe. Izuku, thank you, send. Izuku, okay, Denki, I have all your requests. Are you ready? Denki, yes, Midoriya. A few moments later, they're on the street. They have some food, clothes, soba noodles, coffee, and a coffee machine. They were ready to head back until Denki said something. Denki, Hey, we should check out that building over there. Izuku. What, why? Denki. I have a feeling we'll find something. Izuku. Okay then. They walk towards the building and hear some zombies in the building. They are inside and look around. They don't see anything special and are about to leave when they hear zombies in the building. It came from the basement of the building. They look inside to see that it was a shelter, but it seems that didn't last long. Izuku. I think there are about 6 to 10 zombies in there. I think it's best not to go in, he was interrupted. As Denki takes the bag from him and pushes him down. Izuku dropped his bat as he fell. Denki took the bat, broke it in two, and threw the tip to Izuku. The zombies heard Izuku fall and started running towards him. Izuku. Denki, why? Denki. Why? It's because you took Midoriya, who I fell in love with, away from me. You took Jiro away from me. Izuku ran towards Denki trying to get out of the basement. Denki. And when you leave, she'll fall in love with me. He said as he closed the door behind Izuku. Izuku. Damn it, Denki. When I get out of here I'll kill you. He said while slamming the door. Denki. We'll see if you survive the zombies, Midoriya, he said as he walked away. Izuku. Damn it, he said as he tried to break through the door. The zombies caught Izuku and threw him further down into the basement. Izuku got up from the ground and looked at the zombies running towards him. He had nothing to defend himself with. All he had was the end of his broken bat. He looked at his broken bat and began to back away from the wall. Izuku. What do I do? I have nothing to defend myself with. He said to himself. Izuku. I'm sorry, Mom, girls, Eri. I can't find a way out of this. Then he thought about the good times he had spent with the girls, his mother and Eri. Izuku. No, I can't give up now. There's no way out, so I have to find something to defend myself with. He said while looking around. He saw a broken pipe sticking out of a wall. He ran towards him and tried to pull him out. A zombie was already approaching him and was about to grab him. But then Izuku pulls out the pipe and accidentally hits a zombie. Izuku. Sorry. No, wait, what am I saying? You're already dead. He faced the zombies and they ran towards him at full speed. He then charged at them with all his might, ready for one of the biggest fights he had ever faced. And while he's fighting the zombies, we go to Bakugo, who is teaching Eri how to stack cards into a pyramid. Eri. How is this guy Bakugo? Bakugo. Yeah, just like that. Mina. Wow, how are you so talented at this? The girls don't know either, but they all stop what they were doing when they see Denki running towards the motel. Denki. Hurry up, let me in. He said as he banged on the door they had made. They quickly let him in and began asking him questions about what had happened. Pony. Wait, where's Izuku? Everyone realizes that Izuku had disappeared. Denki. He didn't make it. Mina. What? Inko. What do you mean he didn't make it? Eri. What happened to Dad? Bakugo. What do you mean he didn't make it? He said waking up to Denki. Denki. He stayed behind so I could escape, he said while showing him the part of the broken bat handle. Bakugo. And no, you're lying. Jiro. Why yeah, that could be some ba. He didn't finish, as everyone saw that it had Izuku's name on it. Everyone fell silent. The girls began to cry, and Inko picked up the broken piece of the bat and cried as she looked at it. Eri. Daddy no, she cried while crying. Bakugo hugged Eri tightly while the others cried or looked down. Suddenly everyone hears a knock on the door. Todoroki went to open the door, but put his ear against it so he wouldn't hear if there were any zombies. And all he heard was a man saying, Izuku. Open the damn door. Todoroki's eyes widened and he opened the door. Todoroki. Guys, quick, help me open this. Everyone looked at him confused. Todoroki. Yes, Midoriya. Everyone opened their eyes and ran to help Todoroki. Even the girls helped. When they opened it, they looked at Midoriya, horrified by his appearance. He had cuts and bruises all over. His shirt was torn, and he was bleeding from his arm. Izuku. Where is that bastard Kaminari? He said, trying to stay on his feet. Everyone looked at Kaminari angrily. Bakugo threw Denki to the ground and began beating him to a pulp. The other boys, except Todoroki, joined in the beating. Izuku. Wait, he told the boys as they were beaten up. Izuku. Don't kill him yet, I need to talk to him. As he said this, the others who were beating him stopped and dragged Denki into a room. Izuku started to fall and Todoroki caught him before he hit the ground. Aizawa. Vlad, help Todoroki with Midoriya. We have to get him to my room quickly, he said as he ran towards his room. The girls cried and went to follow them. Kendo picked up Eri and ran with the girls, including Inko, to follow Izuku. Eri. Dad will be okay, right? She said through tears. Kendo. I know it will be okay, he said to Eri. Kendo. Please be okay, Izuku. Please, we need you. Eri needs you, she thought as she ran with the other girls. Izuku wakes up in a bed full of bandages on his arm and his entire arm was covered in bandages. He looks around and sees some of the girls sleeping on chairs and Bakugo sleeping on the floor leaning against the wall. He tries to get up but feels something stalking him. He looks down and sees Eri sleeping on him. He strokes her head and lies back, holding her in his arms. After a few more hours, Eri wakes up and feels someone stroking her head. She looks up and sees Izuku awake. Eri. Dad, you're awake, she said, hugging him. The others wake up hearing Eri shouting, Dad. The girls. Izuku, are you okay? They said as they jumped on Izuku. Izuku. Ow, ow, ow. He yelled as everyone hugged him. Izuku. Be careful girls, it still hurts. The girls apologize and get up from him with Eri still on top of him. Bakugo. What the hell happened to you, Izuku? Izuku explained to Bakugo what happened and everyone in the room was angry and Kaminari. Bakugo. But how did you survive against 10 of those zombies? Did you kill them all? Izuku. No, I just killed a few and broke down the door when I had the chance. The girls. We're glad you're okay, Izuku. Eri. From me to Dad. Izuku. Well, I couldn't leave you without a father now, right? He said, patting Eri's head. Eri laughs and Bakugo asks Izuku something. Bakugo. Now that you're awake, what do we do with that bastard? He refrained from cursing because Eri was there. Izuku. I need to talk to him first, and then I'll decide what we'll do with him. He said as he tried to get up. Izuku. A little help Bakugo. Bakugo. Okay, he said helping Izuku get out of bed. Izuku. Eri, could you go with the girls? I'll be right back. Eri nods and heads towards the girls. Izuku and Bakugo go to the room where Denki was and see that he is tied to a chair and all beaten up. Looking at Denki were Kirishima and Todoroki. Then the two see Izuku and Bakugo enter the room. Kirishima. Hey Izubro. Glad to see you're okay, he said as he patted Izuku on the back. Todoroki. I'm glad to know you're okay. Izuku. Yeah, I'll be fine. Bakugo. Now, it's time to get down to business. Izuku grabs a chair and walks over to Denki and sits in front of him. Denki. Are you Midoriya? Izuku. She. Denki. I'm sorry. Izuku sat silently listening to Denki. Denki. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I was angry with you. You took away the girl I fell in love with. I know what I did can't be forgiven. But I don't want to die. Izuku just stared at him silently. The others who were watching only listened to Denki. Then Denki raised his head and looked Izuku in the eyes. Denki. I know you hate me, I was blinded by rage. Please don't kill me, she said with tears in her eyes. Then Bakugo took out his pocket knife that Izuku gave him and walked towards Izuku. Bakugo. It's your choice, Izuku, he said as he handed the knife to Izuku. Izuku grabbed the pocket knife and opened the knife. He stood up and walked towards Denki. And Izuku released him. The others looked at Izuku with surprise in their eyes. Kirishima. What, are you leaving him? Todoroki. Why did you let him go? Bakugo. I honestly thought you were going to kill him. Denki. What? Izuku. I may have forgiven you, but that doesn't mean I can forget you, he said as he closed the knife and threw it to Bakugo. Izuku. I won't kill you, but you can't stay here. Denki. Thank you, he said while crying. Izuku leaves the room and Bakugo follows him. The other two stare at the open door. They are surprised that Izuku didn't kill him. They would have killed him if it had been them, so why didn't he? Moments later we see Denki leaving the motel with a bag with some food and water. The others just stood at the door watching him leave. Aizawa. Then why did you give him that food and water? You could have sent him there with water. Izuku. I can't leave him there without food or water. It would be inhumane of me to do so. Bakugo. If I were you, I would have killed him. Why didn't you? Izuku. Because it wouldn't be any different from him if I did, he said as he walked away. The others just watch Izuku walk away. They can't complain about that statement because they knew it was true. After a few moments, we see that the girls were watching Izuku play with Eri. Kendo. I'm surprised I didn't kill him. Mina. That's Izuku for you, she said smiling. Sue. You're right about that. If I had the chance, I would have killed him. The girls agree with Izuku. Hagakure. I guess that's another reason to love him. The girls look at Izuku and blush. The girls. Yes. Setsuna. And a good father. The girls. Yes. The girls then realized what they said and started blushing a lot. Setsuna. I can tell he'd make a great father, just look at him. The girls look over and see Izuku teaching her how to do origami and she makes a star. Then he strokes her head and Eri laughs. Then she hugs Izuku and he falls to the ground hugging her and starts laughing. The girl. Well, we can't argue about that, she said, smiling as she thought of him with her children. Ochako. But did you see his arm? Yui. Yeah, it was pretty cut up. Kendo. I still wonder how he didn't get bitten. Mina. Maybe zombies try to kill their victims before eating them. Hagakure. That seems to be the only other reason. Kendo. Have you girls seen me too? Mina. Oh, she wanted to do something for Izuku to make him feel better since his back broke. Juro. Well, she's good at making things, so I wonder what she's going to make for him. The girls agree with the statement and start talking about other things. After a few hours it gets dark and we see Izuku coming out of the bathroom. As he walks out, he sees the girls except Mei, as she was preparing something for Izuku in bed waiting for Izuku. Izuku. What are you doing in my bed? He said blushing. The girls. We just wanted to reward you. Izuku. What for? The girls. For being a good father to Eri. They said as they began to drag Izuku towards the bed. Izuku. What's wrong with Eri? The girls. We made Bakugo take her to her room. Izuku. Wait. We then cut to Bakugo, who is reading a book in his chair, and Eri is sleeping with headphones on. Then Bakugo heard some noises coming from Izuku's room. Bakugo. Damn, I won't be able to sleep. The next day we see Izuku waking up next to the girls. The girls were under blankets covering their birthday bodies. Izuku was surprisingly able to move and slowly got up, without waking the girls. He changes and leaves, closing the door. After a few moments he has a coffee and sits in a chair watching the sunrise. Izuku. If I want to protect those I care about, I need to start training my body, he thought as he took a sip of his coffee. Izuku. This coffee is very good, he says as he begins to finish his coffee. Then he heads to the back of the motel. It's an open field but it's full of trash and other things. He starts cleaning the place and when he's almost finished, he sees a canvas bag. He goes to him and picks him up. It's very heavy and he leaves it on the ground. He then opens it and reveals a bunch of weapons, including knives, a machete, brass knuckles, and a gun. Izuku. Why is all this here? He thought as he quickly closed the bag and placed it next to a wall. Izuku. I should show this to Aizawa. Then he finished cleaning and picked up the bag. It was still heavy so he had to drag it to Aizawa's room. Kirishima is walking and sees Kirishima struggling to drag a bag. Kirishima. Hey Midobro, what are you doing? He is interrupted when Izuku puts his hand over his mouth. Izuku. Shish, I can't let anyone know this. Kirishima. What, why? He says in a muffled voice while Izuku's hand still covers his mouth. Izuku. Look, just help me take this to Aizawa's room and I'll explain. Kirishima. Very well, he says as he takes the bag and puts it on his shoulder. Kirishima. Whoa, this is pretty heavy, what's in here? Izuku. When we get to Aizawa's room you'll understand. After a while they arrive at Aizawa's room door and knock. Aizawa. He walks to the door and opens it. Izuku. Mr. Aizawa, I need to show you something. He walks in and Kirishima puts the bag on Aizawa's bed. Izuku opens the bag revealing the weapons. Aizawa. Where did you find this? Kirishima. Blah. Izuku. I found him at the back of the motel. I was cleaning up back there so I could train a little. Kirishima. That's very manly of you, Midobro. Kirishima says while patting him on the back. Aizawa starts going through the bag and takes out the knives, brass knuckles, a machete, and a gun. Everyone stares at the gun. Kirishima. So what do we do with the gun? Aizawa picks it up and walks towards Izuku. Then he gives him the gun and tells him what to do. Izuku. What? Aizawa. I trust you can deliver this to someone you believe is responsible for it. Izuku. But why me? Aizawa. When you decided to let Denki live but not let him stay, I think you made the right decision. Then Izuku takes the gun and puts it in his pocket. Izuku. What do we do with the other weapons? Aizawa. I'll give them to the others. Kirishima. Can I have those brass knuckles? I'm pretty good at hand-to-hand combat. Aizawa gives the knuckles to Kirishima and trusts them. Kirishima. Fits like a glove. A while later we see that everyone has knives and Aizawa stays with the machete. Bakugo. Hey, what do I get? Izuku. Pissed Bakugo. Bakugo turns to look at Izuku and sees that he is gesturing with his hand for him to follow him. She follows him to the back of the motel. Bakugo. Why did you bring me back? Oh my god, where did he get this? He screams when he sees Izuku pull out a gun. Izuku. Look, Kachan, I trust you a lot, and I also remembered that your aunt took you to a shooting range, so I assumed you knew how to shoot. Bakugo. It's been a while, Izuku. I don't know if I still have it. Let me see you shoot it. Izuku. Are you safe? Bakugo. I'm sure you got it, he says as he walks over to the field and grabs a can from the pile of trash Izuku stacked. He gets up and walks behind Izuku. Note that the weapon is a rifle. Izuku shoots at the can and misses as it flies back. Bakugo. Oh, shit, he says as he runs towards Izuku. Bakugo. Are you okay, Izuku? Izuku. I think you should take the gun. Bakugo. Yeah, probably. Then Bakugo takes the gun and helps Izuku up. Then Bakugo aims the gun and shoots at the can. Bakugo. I need to work on my aim. Izuku sits and looks at the can with a hole in it and then looks down. A while later we see Izuku jogging towards Kirishima. Izuku. Hola Kirishima. Kirishima. Oh, what's up, Midobro? Izuku. Can you help me train? Kirishima. Yes, but why? Izuku. I want to work on my strength and stamina and other things. I want to be able to protect Eri. Kirishima. That's very manly of you, big brother, he says while wiping away his only manly tear. Kirishima. But, you should know that we can help you take care of Eri, you know? Izuku. Yeah, I know, but I'm a father to her and I don't want to depend on you all the time. Kirishima puts his hand on Izuku's shoulder and says. Kirishima. Then we'd better get started. Izuku smiles and they go back and start training. Weeks go by and Izuku has improved. He's a little bigger, but not too much, and he's faster. His cuts and bruises have healed, and he has a huge scar on his arm. Something like that. Now we go with Izuku who returns from training. He opens the door to his room and closes it. He goes to the bathroom and washes. He goes out and looks at himself in the mirror. Then he holds his arm and looks at the scar. Izuku. That zombie caught me quite a bit. Then he leaves the bathroom and puts on clean clothes. He's about to leave the room to check on Eri until he hears a knock at the door. Mei. Izuku, it's me, are you there? Izuku opens the door and lets me in. Izuku looks at Mei and sees that she has dark circles under her eyes. She is all dirty and she is holding something that is under a piece of cloth. Izuku. Mei, you look like you haven't slept in weeks. he says as he approaches Mei and gently grabs her face. Izuku. What have you been doing all this time? Mei. Well, I noticed that your bat was broken, so I made you a new one that's made of aluminum metal. He then removes the piece of cloth and reveals a black aluminum bat that has a single light green stripe. He then gives him the bat and tells him to look under the handle. He looks underneath and sees his initials underneath. Soy. Izuku. How did you do this? Mei. I found some aluminum in a field behind the motel and melted the metal down to make a new bat, she says, showing her hands. They are a little burned and have bandages on them. Then Izuku puts the bat on the bed. Izuku. Oh my god, are you okay? He says as he gently takes her hands and inspects them. Mei. I'm fine, it's just some burns. He lets go of her hands and picks up the bat from the bed. Mei. So. Do you like it? Izuku. No. Mei's heart sinks when she hears him say that. Izuku. I love it. Mei sighs in relief as small tears form in her eyes. Izuku notices and goes towards her, throwing the bat on the bed. Izuku. Hey, why are you crying? He says while gently grabbing her cheek. Mei. I thought you didn't like me, she says while wiping away her tears. Izuku. Why wouldn't I like it? You made it for me and you hurt yourself doing it. Mei. How did I end up with the best man in the world? She says, laughing a little. Izuku. I should be wondering how I ended up with someone as beautiful as you and the others. Mei hugs him and kisses him on the cheek. Mei. I guess we were meant to be together. Izuku. Yes, he says while giving her a kiss on the lips. She blushes and kisses him back. They kiss for a while and then stop, leaving a trail of saliva. Mei. I'm so tired. Izuku. You'll sleep with me tonight. Mei. Are you sure? Izuku. I'm sure. Go wash up in my shower while I go see Eri. Mei. Okay, she says as she kisses him and walks to the bathroom to wash up. Izuku goes to Kirishima's room as Bakugo was practicing his shots. Izuku knocks on Kirishima's door and Kirishima opens the door. Kirishima. Oh, hello bro. Izuku. Hola Kira bro. Kirishima. Did you just call me Kira bro? Izuku. Well yeah. Since you call me Mado bro, I call you Kira bro. Kirishima gives Izuku a manly hug and tells him he's very manly. Izuku. Anyway, how is Eri? Kirishima. She fell asleep a while ago, so I was going to go and give it to you, but, well, now you're here so. Izuku. Thanks for looking after her today. Normally I'd ask Kachan, but he's practicing his shots. Kirishima. It's okay, bro. Besides, we all look out for each other, right? Izuku. Yes, you're right. Kirishima. I should also tell you something about Eri. Izuku. Oh, what's wrong? Kirishima. Who taught you to curse? Izuku. What? Kirishima. Well, while you were gone we were playing Jenga and she pulled out a brick and the tower fell over, she said fuck. Izuku. Bakugo. Kirishima. Madobro, are you okay? Izuku. Could you look after her for a moment? I need to talk to a certain Pamaria. Kirishima. You Claro. As Izuku leaves, Kirishima closes the door and falls to the floor, breathing heavily. Kirishima. Shit, I thought I was going to die. After Izuku finishes beating the Pomerian's butt, we see him walking towards his room with Eri in his arms. Izuku. Cursed orchard, he says as he opens the door. He walks in, closes the door, then turns around and sees Mei in her hoodie. Izuku. With. They stare at each other and start to blush. Mei. I hope you don't mind, my clothes were dirty. Izuku. Oh okay, besides I think you look cute in it. With. Serio. Izuku puts Eri on the bed and walks over to Mei holding her cheek. Izuku. Of course. He says giving me a kiss on the lips and lifts me up. He puts her on the bed and they get into the blanket with Eri. Eri is in the middle of Mei and Izuku. The three of them hug each other and fall asleep. It's been a few months since what happened in the last chapter. The group has been going out to look for resources and has slowly made the motel much safer. The group has also been improving. Izuku has become stronger and faster. Bakugo has improved with his weapon. Kirishima is stronger and more durable with his brass knuckles. Aizawa has been practicing with his machete. And the others are pretty good with their knives. Now we go to Izuku, who is playing with Eri in his room. While they are playing, Izuku hears someone knocking on his door. He gets up and opens the door to see Aizawa standing in front of him. Izuku. Oh, good morning, Aizawa. Aizawa. Good morning, Midoriya. Izuku invites Aizawa inside and then they start talking. Aizawa. Midoriya, I need to talk to you, alone. Izuku. Oh, okay. He walks up to Eri and tells her he needs to talk to Aizawa. Eri. Okay dad, I'll go get mom Kendo. Then Eri leaves the room to look for Kendo. Izuku. Okay, Mr. Aizawa, is something wrong? Aizawa. Well, I received a report from Vlad. Izuku. Was it wrong? Aizawa. Well, I'm not sure. Izuku. What do you mean? Aizawa. Well, during one of Vlad's patrols with one of the students, he saw smoke in the distance. Izuku. So you think that could mean? Aizawa. There are other survivors out there. Izuku. Well, why are you telling me this? Aizawa. I want you and some other people to go with you to surprise him. Izuku. Okay, then I'll go see if anyone wants to come with me. Aizawa. Okay, when you're ready to leave, meet me at the gate entrance. Izuku. It's okay, Mr. Aizawa. Izuku and Aizawa leave the room and Izuku goes to Bakugo and asks him if he wants to go with him. Bakugo agrees and Izuku tells him to get what he needs. Izuku then asks Kirishima if he wants to go with him too. Kirishima agrees and starts grabbing what he needs. Then Izuku leaves and asks the rest of the group. The only one who agreed to go was Mineta. Mineta wanted to go because, well, he thought there would be girls there. Izuku simply agreed and went to his room to get his things. He grabbed his backpack and his baseball bat. He also brought the pocket knife that Bakugo gave him back, just in case. After this he meets his group at the main gate. Eri runs up to him and hugs his leg. Eri. Be careful, Dad. Then Izuku pets her head. Izuku. I will. Then Eri lets him go and Izuku says something to her. Izuku. I want you to listen to what Aizawa says, okay? Eri. It's okay, Dad. Then she walks with Aizawa and Aizawa picks her up. Izuku. So, where should we head, Mr. Aizawa? Aizawa. Vlad said it would be north of here. Izuku. Okay, then see you soon. The students say goodbye to them and Izuku's group leaves the motel. Izuku. Let's hope we find some friendly people. Kirishima. I hope they're as manly as we are. Bakugo. Well, whoever they are, we could destroy them. Mineta. I hope you have some ladies. Izuku. Kirishima and Bakugo are alone in Milan and Mineta. Izuku. Screw it, I'll call Kirishima, Kiri from now on. Left. Bakugo. Why did we let this grape-headed bastard come with us again? Izuku. The more, the better. Kiri. So manly. He says while drying his manly tear. After a while of traveling the sun begins to set. Bakugo. Where the fuck are these guys? Kiri. Bakubro, keep your voice down. The zombies might hear you. Bakugo. Shut up, you damn hair. Kiri. But we have the same hair. Bakugo. Shut up. Suddenly, the group is stopped by Izuku. Kiri. Hey, why did we stop? Izuku. Guys, look. He points to the smoke that seems to be coming from the forest. Kiri. Do you think it's them? Izuku. Could it be? Bakugo. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. The group then proceeds towards the smoke. After a while it gets dark and they reach their destination. They look where the fire is coming from and see a small camp. There is a campfire still burning there. There are 3 tents that look a bit battered. They walk towards the camp and start looking around. And a small building that is the bathroom. Kiri is checking the forest. Bakugo is standing guard. Mineta is checking the tents. And Izuku goes to check the bathroom. Izuku enters the men's bathroom and knocks on each stall before opening it. Look at the last one and find a pink backpack. He picks it up and puts it in the sink. He thinks about whether he should open it but then decides not to look since the group could still be there. He decides to take it so he can return it to the survivors. Then he enters the women's bathroom a little awkwardly since it is the women's bathroom. He knocks on every bathroom door and even yells to see if anyone is inside. He's about to look towards the second to last one until he hears someone inside. They seem to be crying. Izuku immediately starts to worry and starts talking to the person who is crying. Izuku. Hey, are you okay? I don't want to hurt you, I swear. The person then begins to calm down and slowly opens it. He sees a little boy with tears in his eyes. Then Izuku sees that the boy has a cut on his hand. He immediately goes into Dadzuku mode. Izuku. Oh my god, you're hurt. Are you okay? The boy takes a step back in surprise at Izuku's immediate response. Izuku. Oh sorry, did I scare you? The boy slowly shakes his head in response. Izuku. Does it hurt? The boy nods in response. Then Izuku puts down his bag, opens it and takes out a bandage. Izuku. Is it okay if I wear this? The boy nods hesitantly and walks slowly towards Izuku. Izuku gently holds the boy's hand and proceeds to apply the bandage. Izuku. Are you here alone? The boy then shakes his head in response. Izuku. Really? How many? The boy raises 2 fingers. Izuku. Are they nice to you? The boy nods in response. Then Izuku finished the bandage. Izuku. Good to know. He says while giving her a warm smile. The child then begins to calm down a little. Izuku. Is it okay if you tell me your name? The boy nods in response. Koda. My name is Koda. Izuku. That's a nice name. Koda starts to feel better around Izuku. Suddenly, Izuku hears screams outside. Koda freaks out and Izuku sees this and slowly but carefully takes Koda by the hand. Izuku. It's okay. Izuku then starts to walk out of the bathroom with Koda holding his hand. Izuku comes out of the bathroom and sees 2 women telling Bakugo that Kiri is trying to calm him down. And Mineta looks at women with his perverted gaze. What the hell are you doing here? And what did you do to Koda? Bakugo. Who the fuck is Koda? Kiri. Be Bakubro, calm down. Then Izuku walks towards the group and everyone sees Izuku with Koda holding his hand. Koda, are you okay? The 2 girls run past Bakugo and hug Koda, causing Izuku to lose control of Koda's hand. Oh, I'm so sorry I left you here alone. I'll never do that again, I promise. Koda, what happened to your hand? That. The girls look at Izuku as if they were about to kill him until Koda stops them. Koda. Wait, I just cut myself, that's all. And he put this bandage on my hand. The girls look at Koda with relief in their eyes knowing they didn't hurt him. Then they calmed down and looked at Izuku. We were so sorry. We think you did something to Koda. Izuku. Oh okay, besides I would react the same way if it were with my daughter. He says with a small laugh. The women blush a little until they realize he said daughter. Wait, daughter, aren't you too young to have a child? Izuku. And no, not like that. She's not really my daughter, but she sees me as her father, and I'm fine with that as long as she's happy. The women sigh with relief. That's a relief. Izuku. Why? Well, we think that it you had done with another person. Izuku blushes as he remembers the night he had with his girls. Bakugo. He was, all night with his girlfriends. The 2 women. Girlfriends. Wait, how many? Bakugo. 14 I think. The 2 women simply stare at Izuku, who is blushing completely. Kiri. He's so manly that he can keep all his girls happy. I always wonder how he can treat them all the same. Well, we're getting off topic. Yes, who are you and what are you doing here? Kiri. Well, I'm Kirishima. Bakugo. Soy Bakugo. Izuku. Yo, I'm sorry. Mineta. And I'm the hottest guy in this group, Mineta. Everyone looked at him with an annoyed expression. Well, then we should introduce ourselves. Mandalay. I am Mandalay. Mirko. And I am Mirko. Koda. My name is Koda. Izuku. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mirko and Mandalay. Mirko. The same thing happens to me, but what are you doing here? Izuku. Oh, right. We were looking for survivors and saw your campfire in the distance. We wanted to ask if you'd like to come stay with us at the motel. Mandalay. I don't know, is it safe? Mirko. Yes, I want us to go with you. We want to know that it's safe for us and Kota to be there. Then Izuku approaches Mirko. Izuku. I promise you, Mandalay and Kota, that the people at the motel will protect you with our lives. Mirko. How do I know you're not lying? Izuku holds her hands gently. Izuku. Because I will risk my life for those I care about. Mirko starts blushing at Izuku's comment, as does Mandalay. Kota. P promise. Izuku. Pinky promise, he says while sticking out his pinky. Kota then puts his pinky on top of hers and smiles. Mandalay and Mirko look at Kota with a look of surprise in their eyes. It had been a long time since they had seen Kota smile. Mirko. Okay, then we'll go with you. Bakugo. Finally. Kiri. New nice people to hang out with. Everyone starts talking and doesn't notice a figure among the trees watching them. Mineta is just watching what is happening in front of him and is seething with anger. Mineta. How dare you take those two sexy women away from me? They should belong to me. While talking to each other, they suddenly hear moaning sounds in the distance. Bakugo. Time to move. Izuku. Come on, we have to go. The group now heads off until they stop in Mandalay. Mandalay. Wait, what's wrong with our bag? Izuku. This is it. He shows it to her and she takes it. Mandalay. Oh, thank you very much. They then continue running until they realize they are missing Mineta. Izuku. Wait, where's Mineta? Then they heard him screaming for help. Izuku. Shit, I have to go back for him. Bakugo then stops him. Bakugo. Leave him alone, he's just a perverted guy trying to get girls. Izuku. I know you're right, but I can't just leave it there. It's not right. Izuku shakes off Bakugo and runs into the forest to save Mineta. Izuku. Wait here, Bakugo. Maldita sea Midoriya. We then arrive at Mineta, who is cornered in a tree with zombies. Mineta. I can't die now. I've never had sex. As he was about to be devoured, a bat hits one of the zombies and kills it. Mineta looks over and sees Izuku swinging his bat and hitting zombies in the head or legs. Mineta just glares at him until he comes up with an idea. Izuku. Come on, Mineta, let's get out of here. Mineta. I can't walk. Then Izuku picks up Mineta and starts running. He's dodging zombies everywhere. He's almost away from the zombies until he feels pain in his side. He looks down and sees that Mineta stabbed him in the side. He drops Mineta and falls to the ground holding his side. Izuku. What? Mineta. Finally, without you I can have all the girls. Izuku just glares at him but can't keep his eyes open because he's starting to bleed. Mineta starts running until he hears Izuku. Izuku. I'll find you. Mineta stops running and turns around. Mineta. Maybe you're right, just in case. He then stabs Izuku's leg. Izuku. Ah, Mineta. Now I don't have to worry about you anymore. He then runs off leaving Izuku on the ground. Izuku can't get up and is starting to bleed out. Izuku. I'm so tired. Then Izuku sees a zombie walking towards him. Izuku. I can't give up. I promised Eri I'd come back. He then stands up and looks at the zombie walking towards him. He can't lift his bat because he's too weak, so he takes out his pocket knife. The zombie then grabs Izuku and knocks him to the ground. Izuku has the knife in his hand and stabs the zombie in the head. The zombie dies and falls on Izuku. Izuku can't push the zombie away and sees more coming. Izuku. Shit, I can't move. Izuku can't move anymore. He sees the zombies getting closer and all he can do is sit there and watch. Izuku. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry mom, girls, Eri. Then Izuku feels tears falling from his eyes. Izuku. Sorry Eri, I couldn't keep our promise. Just as Izuku is about to pass out from blood loss, he sees a figure jump out of the tree and kill the zombies. They appear to be wearing a coat with a hoodie over their head. Then Izuku passes out from blood loss. They then push the dead zombie away from Izuku and start carrying him bridal style and run away with him. With the group waiting for Izuku, They are worried. Mirko. It's been about 30 minutes, where is he? Bakugo. Fuck this, I'm going after him. Just as he is about to leave, they see Mineta running towards them. Kiri. Mineta, are you okay? Mineta. Why yes, I'm fine. Mandalay. Wait, where's Izuku? Everyone looks at him with a worried expression. Mineta. The zombies got him. Everyone looks at him in horror. Bakugo. And no, you're lying. Bakugo is about to chase after Izuku until Mineta stops him. Mineta. He told me to tell them to take us back to the motel. Bakugo. I know he's still alive, damn it. Mineta. They bit him. Everyone looks at Mineta with their eyes wide open in horror. Bakugo simply falls to his knees on the ground. Bakugo. No. It can't be, he said he'd be fine, he promised Eri he'd come back to her. Bakugo then punches one of the trees with his fist. Bakugo. Damn it. Bakugo gets up almost immediately and tries to run into the forest. Kiri then stops him by grabbing him and hugging him. Kiri. Bakubro, please we have to go. Bakugo. No, I know he's alive. Let me go. Kiri. Bakugo. He's gone. No one can survive a zombie bite and you know it. Bakugo starts to cry. Bakugo. Let me go, I can save him, please, Kirishima. Kirishima also starts to cry. Kiri. Bakugo, we have to go please, Midoriya didn't want this please. Miriko and Mandalay start crying, hugging each other, and Kota, who is scared and crying. Kiri then picks up Bakugo and proceeds to walk away from the forest. Bakugo. Let me go, damn it. Kiri. Sorry Bakugo, but we can't stay here, the zombies are getting closer. Then they see the zombies walking in their direction. Bakugo has tears running down his face. Bakugo. Please let me go. I might still be alive, please. Then Kiri starts running with the group and Bakugo in his arms. Bakugo. Izuku. He screamed before being knocked out by Kiri. Kiri has tears running down her face. Kiri. I'm sorry Bakugo, but I can't risk us getting killed. As the group runs, Kiri looks back once more, waiting for Izuku to come out. Kiri. I'm sorry Midoriya. I'll do my best to take care of the others, I promise. Then we go to the person who saved Izuku from the zombies. They are sitting in a tree patching up Izuku. You can't die now, they still need you. They then take off their sweatshirts and reveal a woman. Alright. She finishes bandaging Izuku and picks him up in her arms and proceeds to run further into the forest. Izuku wakes up and sees that he is on a couch. He sits up, wincing and holding his side. He looks down and sees that he has a bandage. He sits down slowly and looks around. He sees a coffee table in front of him and looks to his left and sees a hallway. Then he hears someone approaching and looks back. He sees a tall woman walking towards him. Well, it's good to know you're alive. Izuku. Who are you? What? No, thanks. Izuku. Oh sorry, thanks. It's nothing, but can you stand up? He says as he walks around the couch. Izuku. I think so. He gets up and almost falls until he is caught by the women. Izuku. Thank you. All right. Izuku stands up and regains his balance. Izuku. Well, thanks for saving me. Well, I couldn't just leave you to die out there. Izuku. Anyway, do you know where my stuff is? Oh, it's this way, follow me. Izuku follows her down the hallway. They then enter a room and Izuku sees his backpack and bag next to each other with a set of clothes. Change your clothes and when you're done come back to the living room and we can introduce ourselves. Izuku. Okay then. She leaves the room closing the door. Izuku walks, takes off his clothes and changes into the new ones. He wears a black t-shirt with a small black jacket with a light green stripe on the sleeves and a pair of ripped blue jeans. He then puts on his iconic red shoes and puts on his backpack with the bat hanging on the side. He leaves the room and heads to the living room. Izuku sees the woman sitting on the couch and approaches her. Damn, you look great. Izuku. Thank you. Then she pats the sofa next to her, inviting him to sit next to her. He sits hesitantly beside her. Let's introduce ourselves, you start. Izuku. Well, my name is Izuku Midoriya. That's a nice name. Izuku blushes a little at her compliment. Nagant. Well, my name is Nagant. Izuku. Why, you have a beautiful name. She is a little surprised by Izuku's compliment. Nagant. Oh, thank you. Then they sit in silence, not knowing what to do next. Then Izuku remembers something. He doesn't know where he is. Izuku. You excuse me. Nagant. Izuku. Where am I? Nagant. Well, I had to get you somewhere safe, so we went deeper into the forest and ended up in a small village. Izuku. What? Nagant. Yeah, just look out the window. Izuku gets up and walks to the window to the right of the couch. He looks out the window and sees that he is in a neighborhood with a few houses. Izuku. Nagant. Is something wrong? Izuku. How far are we from the city? Nagant. I'm not really sure, but it took me a few days to get here. Then Izuku leans his head against the window and sighs. Izuku. Where is the city? Nagant. It's south of here. Then Izuku walks towards the door and I'm about to open it when Nagant stops him. Nagant. Hey, you just woke up and relaxed a bit. Izuku. I'm sorry, but I need to get back to my daughter. Thank you for saving me, but I promised her I would return to her. Nagant. But how are you going to get there? Izuku. I don't know, but I'll think of something. Nagant. Well then let me go with you. Izuku. What? Why do you want to come with me? Nagant. I've been alone since the apocalypse began. Izuku. Wow. That was a long time ago. Nagant. Please let me go with you. I don't want to be alone anymore. Izuku thinks for a moment. Even though he just met her, she did a lot for him. Izuku. Okay, then let's go. Nagant. Okay. Nagant leaves the house with Izuku and together they begin their journey back to the motel. We go to Kiri, who is in her room mourning the death of her friends. Kiri. I should have gone with him. Kiri arrives and leaves her room to check on everyone. Bakugo was quiet. He wasn't the same as always. Inko was depressed about losing the only family member she had left, but Aizawa was looking out for her, in case she did something drastic. The girls didn't leave their rooms, they missed Izuku a lot. And Eri. She took it harder than anyone, she didn't play with anyone, she didn't talk to anyone, she didn't even leave her room. Eri missed her dad, she loved him very much, he was the first one she felt safe with. Don't get me wrong, she felt safe with others, but Izuku was special to her, he was her dad. The others were just sad that Izuku was gone, except for one. Kiri was checking on a specific person and stood at his door until he heard a voice on the other side. Mineta. Finally, now that he's gone, the girls won't have anyone to love, and that's where I'll step in. Kiri immediately grabbed her phone and started recording Mineta talking to himself. Mineta. Girls will fall for me now that Midori is gone and I'll get rid of Eri. She's just standing in the way of me and the girls. Kiri was on the other side of the door and was angry but kept calm. He left and went to Aizawa and Inko. He stands at Inko's front door and starts banging on it. Kiri. Miss Inko, it's me, Kirishima. Can you open the door? I need to show you something. The door opens and Kiri sees Aizawa in front of him. Kiri. Mr. Aizawa, you need to see this. Aizawa. What's wrong? Kiri then enters the room and shows Inko and Aizawa the recording. Aizawa was angry, but Inko was beyond angry because she wanted to kill the purple grape dwarf. Aizawa. Where is he now? Kiri. In his room. Inko leaves her room immediately and heads to Mineta's room. Aizawa. Tell the others I'll be with Inko. Kiri. Yes, Mr. Aizawa. Kiri and Aizawa run away. Kiri tells the student and everyone gets angry, but the girls want to cut off his little penis. Bakugo grabbed his gun and stomped towards the perverted grape room. They all got their weapons and headed to Mineta's room. They get there and see Inko beating him up. Aizawa is involved in this to prevent himself from being trampled into the ground. The others join in and start beating his ass. The boys beat him up and Bakugo completely destroys his fingers by snapping them one by one. The girls take out their knives and cut it into pieces. Mina goes to him and brings something precious to Mineta. Mineta. And no, it's not my dia, you probably all know what happened. After that Mineta is on the ground and is barely alive. Suddenly Kiri comes in and walks with tears in her eyes to Mineta with Eri in her arms. And Eri seems to be holding a small knife that Kiri gave her. Kiri puts her down and Eri walks towards him. Eri is standing in front of the purple bastard holding her knife. Eri. This is for Dad. Then he cuts out his eye, leaving him blind. Everyone hears his cry and enjoys a little of his pain. He killed the most forgiving person they had ever met, so he didn't deserve to live. Kiri walked towards Mineta and Mineta looked at him. Kiri then lifted her leg over Mineta's leg and stomped on it. He broke one leg and did the same to the other. Everyone stares at the helpless pervert crying on the floor. Mineta then faints from the pain. Then Bakugo approaches him with his gun in hand. He aims at Mineta and is about to pull the trigger until Kiri stops him. Kiri. That's the easy way out of this. I have a better idea. After a while Mineta wakes up. He tries to get up but can't and sees that he is tied to a post. He doesn't see the motel. He screams for help but no one comes, only zombies. The zombies start walking towards him. Mineta. And no, get away from me, you monstrous ones. The zombies are already there and start eating him. He lets out one last scream before dying. We then head towards Izuku, who is walking next to Nagant. It's dark outside so they think about sleeping in the trees until they see a small house in front of them. They enter the house and see things on the floor and a broken television. Nagant. It's better than a tree. Izuku. I guess so. They lock the door and place a dresser in front of it, in case the zombies break it down. Izuku. Let's check out the building before we settle in. Nagant. Very well then. They search the house and don't find any zombies. Nagant. Well, I'm tired. Izuku. Same, I'll take the couch, you can take the bed. Nagant. Are you sure? Izuku. Yeah, I don't mind, besides my mom always told me to treat women with respect and be nice to them. Nagant. Your mom seems like a lovely person. Izuku. She's the best mother I could ask for. Nagant. Okay, good night Izuku. Izuku. Yeah, good night, nothing. Nagant leaves the living room and heads to the bedroom. Izuku takes off his backpack and lies down on the couch. A few hours later we see that Izuku is sleeping. But Mrs. Nagant has trouble sleeping. Nagant. Why can't I sleep? Maybe Izuku is still awake. She gets up and goes to the living room. She walks over to the couch and sees that Izuku is asleep but also shirtless. Nagant. Holy. She admires the green body of the broccoli almost drooling. Nagant. I wonder what those muscles feel like. She walks towards him and slowly places her hand on his stomach, feeling his defined abdomen. Nagant. Wow. Then he moves his hands up and feels his chest. Nagant. She then climbs on top of him as he wakes up and rests her head on his chest. She feels warm and comfortable and seems like she could fall asleep in an instant. Nagant. Wow, she's got a lot of muscles but she feels like a soft cloud. I'm sure she won't mind if I let her sleep for a while. Then she looks at him, gives him a quick kiss on the cheek, and falls asleep on top of him. We see Izuku waking up with Nagant on top of him. Both are naked on the covers. Izuku blushes a little as he remembers the night he had with Nagant. He calms down and strokes Nagant's head. He continues doing this until Nagant wakes up feeling Izuku's hand caressing his head. She enjoys it and closes her eyes and stays there for a while until she knows they should continue. Izuku sees that she's awake and stops petting her head. Izuku. Oh, sorry, did I wake you up? Nagant. Well yes, but I liked your pats on the head. Izuku. Good to know. They sit there for a while until Nagant says they have to leave. Izuku. Okay, let me. He gets up but realizes he still has his rod inside her. Izuku. Oh, sorry. Nagant. Okay, let me get up. She slowly gets off Izuku and gets out of bed. Then Izuku gets out of bed and goes to the bathroom. Izuku. I wonder if. He goes to the shower to see if there is still water in the building. Turn the shower knob and it turns on. Izuku. Hey, buddy. The shower still works.
Nagant. How is it possible that a shower still works in the middle of the forest, during a zombie apocalypse?
Izuku. I don't know. Izuku lets Nagant use the shower first. While Nagant is taking a shower, Izuku goes to get his clothes and places Nagant's clothes on the bed. After finishing showering, Izuku tells her that his clothes are on the bed. He gets in the shower and Nagant changes his clothes. She sits up in bed thinking about last night. Nagant, last night was amazing. She then blushes, but takes his eyes off her. Izuku goes out and changes his clothes. They have their things in their hands and leave the house. After a while we see them walking along a path almost outside the forest. Izuku. So, about last night. Nagant, what happened last night? Izuku. What does this make us? Nagant. Well, I guess that makes us a couple. Izuku blushes at how he said that. Izuku. Well, I should tell you something. Nagant. Oh, and what is that? Izuku. There are other girls. Nagant remains silent for a moment, worrying Izuku. Izuku. If you're angry then I understand. Nagant. No wonder you were so good last night. Izuku jumps and screams a little. Nagant laughs at Izuku. Izuku calms down when he sees Nagant laughing, he is confused. Izuku. Wait. Aren't you mad at me? Nagant calms down and answers Izuku. Nagant. I was a little, but as long as I'm with you, I won't have any problems with the others. Izuku. Well, if you're okay with sharing, I guess we're a couple. Nagant. Well, with the other girls it's more like a harem. Izuku. What about him? Nagant. Don't you know what a harem is? Izuku. No. Nagant. Well, a harem is when more than one person likes the same person. Izuku. Oh I see, I guess it's a harem. They talk for a while until they hear a nearby bush shake. Izuku pulls out his bat from the side of his bag and Nagant pulls out his crossbow. They expect it to be a zombie and someone falls with a zombie on top of them. They're screaming for help, and Izuku runs up to them and hits the zombie's head with the bat, killing it. The person pushes the zombie. Izuku goes to help them until he recognizes the person. Izuku. Denki. Denki looks at Izuku and gets scared. Denki. Sorry, I didn't know you were here. Izuku puts his bat in his backpack. He approaches Denki, who covers his face with his arms, thinking he's going to get hit. Izuku puts his hand in front of Denki waiting for him to take it. Denki lowers his arms looking at Izuku holding his hand in front of him. Izuku. It's okay, Denki. Denki hesitantly takes his hand and Izuku hugs him. Izuku. It's okay, Denki, I forgive what you did. Denki hears this and starts crying. Izuku pats him on the back as he continues to cry. They stay like that for a while until Denki calms down. Izuku lets him go by patting him on the shoulder. Denki. Why? Did you forgive me? Izuku. I don't like holding grudges, besides it's been a while since I've seen you. Nagant. Izuku. Who is this? Izuku. Oh, this is my friend Denki. Nagant. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Izuku's girlfriend. Denki. Izuku has another girlfriend. Denki shakes his head and introduces himself. Izuku. Nagant and I will return to the motel, do you want to come with us? Denki. But they won't take me back. Izuku. If they don't, I won't mind you staying with us. Denki smiles a little and gives him a brotherly hug. Denki. Thank you Midoriya. Izuku also pats him on the back, smiling. Izuku. No thanks. Denki laughs a little. Denki. Bro, you just stole Kirishima's line. They both laugh a little before Nagant makes himself noticed. Nagant. Come on, guys, we'd better get there before dark. Izuku. Okay, then let's go, Denki, let's go. Denki nods and the three leave the forest and head towards the city. A few hours later they arrive at the motel, but when Izuku is about to knock on the door, they hear a fight. Nagant. We should check what's going on, she whispers, pointing to a nearby building. They head to the roof of the building and Nagant takes out a pair of binoculars. Izuku. Where did you get that? Nagant. I had them for a while, but look what's happening. He takes them and looks at them. He sees something that makes his heart sink. He sees some of the girls with some of the boys holding their arms or kissing them. Some people yell at them. Bakugo. I thought you loved Izuku. Uraraka. Well, he's not here anymore, so it's not cheating, right? Kiri. Do you even care about him? Momo. We did, but that was when he was alive. Sue. If he's not here, who can meet our needs? Kiri was about to say something until one of the girls walked up to Sue and slapped her. Juru. So you're saying you've been using him for your needs? The girls who were basically cheating on Izuku nodded. The other girls were angry and beat up the girls. The boys were about to intervene when Kiri and Bakugo jumped on them and hit them. Vlad. Aren't you going to stop them? Aizawa. Hell no. They deserve every ounce of pain. Inko. I'll join the girls. Mirko. Count me in. Mandalay. I don't like violence, but this is an exception. The women say run and beat the cheaters. Basically, we go back in time to see what just happened from Izuku's point of view. Let's go see Izuku, who dropped his binoculars. He couldn't say anything, he just watched some of his girlfriends cheat on him. She then starts crying, which worries Denki and Nagant. Nagant. What's wrong, Izuku? He says while holding his shoulder with his hand. Denki takes the binoculars and looks through them and sees the cheaters kissing or hugging some of the boys. Denki. Those assholes. Nagant. What is it? Denki gives him the binoculars and sees what Denki saw. Nagant. Those bitches. Denki. I thought you liked it. Nagant. Apparently not. Izuku started to cry while Nagant and Denki started to comfort him. After a while, Izuku feels better. Nagant. Do you still want to be here? Izuku. No. But I can't leave Eri or Koda. Denki. What? Nagant. A child who saved. Denki. Oh. Izuku looks through the binoculars and sees Bakugo yelling at the cheaters and then sees Juru slap Sue. Then the rest of the girls start beating the cheaters' butts, and Kiri and Bakugo start beating the boys' butts. She then sees her mother Mirko and Mandalay join the girls and defeat the cheaters. Izuku. I guess not everyone cheats. Izuku gives Nagant the binoculars and sees what Izuku saw. Nagant. So those girls still care, including those two boys. Denki. Oh, let me see. Nagant gives him the glasses and he sees the same thing they saw. Denki starts laughing, making Izuku feel a little better. Nagant. So, when are we going to go get your son? Izuku. We should leave when it's dark, I don't want to be here with those girls. Nagant. I understand what you mean. Denki. Same here, and I don't think I'd be welcome. Everyone agrees and waits a bit for everyone to go to their rooms. About an hour has passed and we see Denki playing with binoculars. Denki. Did you know that if you use binoculars upside down, things look farther away? Izuku. I didn't really know that. Nagant. Wait, really? Izuku. See? Nagant. Anyway, I think everyone's sleeping anyway. Izuku. You're right, come on guys. The two nod and leave the rooftop, entering the motel through the back. They go to Izuku's room and are about to open the door until Nagant stops them. Swim. His persona's inside. Izuku. Wait, really? Izuku looks out the window and sees some of the girls in his room. Mei has her head bowed on a desk with tears in her eyes. Setsuna is sitting on the bed next to Kendo. Mirko and Mandalay are with Eri and Koda trying to make them feel better. Juru and Mina are talking to each other about how much they miss Izuku. Kiri and Bakugo are standing by the door making sure no one comes in. Izuku. Nagant, you and Denki go back to the rooftop. I need to talk to some people. Nagant. Okay, but be careful, Izuku. She gives him a kiss before leaving with Denki. And just as Izuku is about to knock on the door, Izuku knocks on the door. Bakugo. Who's the duck at the door? He says, asking the person on the other side of the door. Izuku. Your best friend Izuku? Bakugo and Kiri hear him and their eyes widen in surprise. Bakugo doesn't think about it for a second and opens the door revealing Izuku. Everyone looks towards the door and sees Izuku standing there with a smile on his face. Bakugo and Kiri walk away from him still in shock that their friend is still alive. Izuku walks in and closes the door behind him. Everyone remains silent, still in shock at seeing Izuku standing in front of them.
Izuku. Aola, Eri. Dad, she says as she runs towards Izuku and jumps at him, making him fall to the ground. She hugs Izuku through tears and Izuku hugs her back. Izuku. Look, I told you I'd be back. The girls in the room run to Izuku and hug him with Eri. Mirko and Mandalay join in the hug. Kendo. Izuku, you're alive. Mei. Oh, thank goodness you're worried. Mina. Izuku, you made us think you were dead. Setsuna. Damn it, Izuku, don't worry us like that. Jiro is just crying in his arms. Mirko. Damn Izuku, you gave us a scare. Mandalay. We thought you didn't make it. Everyone has tears in their eyes, including Izuku. He was so happy to meet the girls again. After a while the girls get up and let Izuku get up. Izuku arrives and sees Bakugo looking at him with some tears in his eyes. Izuku. Come here, Send. Bakugo approaches him and hugs him. Izuku pats him on the back and Bakugo cries a little. Bakugo. We thought you were dead, bastard. Izuku. Sorry I scared you, but Mineta stabbed me and left me with the zombies. Mina. But how did you survive? Izuku. Well, someone saved me before the eye zombies got to me. Bakugo lets go of Izuku and wipes his tears. Kiri approaches Izuku and gives him a manly hug that almost crushes him. Kiri. I'm glad you're back, Midobro. Izuku. The same, Kuribro. While they are talking, Kota approaches Izuku and gives him a hug. Kota. Are you okay, Mr. Izuku? Izuku strokes her head telling her it's okay. Kendo. Is the person who saved you still with you? Izuku. Yeah, she's waiting for me outside. Girls and women. She. Kiri. Wait, why outside? Izuku. Well, I won't stay here anymore. All. What, Izuku? But, I wanted to ask you if you want to come with me. Setsuna. Wait a minute, why don't you want to stay here? Izuku. Well, I saw what the other girls did earlier today. The people in the room looked down, remembering what had happened before. Jiro. Well, I'm going with Izuku. Kendo. Same here. Setsuna. Count me in. Mina. I want to go too. Mirko. I want to participate. Mandalay. I will, if it's okay with you. Izuku. The more the merrier. He tells Mandalay, which makes her blush a little. Bakugo. It's back. Kiri. Same here, Midobro. Eri. I want to go with Dad. Kota. Me too, Mei. I'll follow you wherever you go, Izuku. Everyone in the room agrees to go with Bakugo. Wait, what about Aunt Inko? As Izuku was about to leave, he stops and realizes he forgot about his mother. Izuku. How did I forget my mom? He said as he crouched down and kept his head down in disappointment. Mei. Okay, Izuku, just go with her and see if she wants to come too. She says while hugging Izuku, making him feel better. Izuku. Yes, you're right, thanks Mei. He says as he gets up and kisses me on the cheek, making the other girls jealous. Izuku. Okay, everyone go to the back of the motel and wait for me there. Kiri. Okay, Midobro. Everyone leaves Izuku's room, but Eri stays with Izuku. Eri. Dad, can I stay with you? Izuku. Of course, baby, and I missed you so much. He says as he picks it up. He leaves his room and goes to his mom's room and is about to knock until he hears someone talking to his mom. Aizawa. Inko, I know you're upset, but you can't be like this forever. Inko. How can I forget this? He was the only family I had left. Aizawa sits next to him. Aizawa. I understand your pain. My family never contacted me. They didn't really care about me, so I basically had no one. Inko looks at Aizawa, listening to what he is saying. Aizawa. I know you miss him, but he wouldn't want you to be like this for the rest of your life. Inko looks down, knowing Aizawa was right. Aizawa. Look, you're not doing this alone. I miss him too. He was a strong, cheerful boy. He was the sunshine in our lives, making almost everyone feel better when they were down. Inko. Yeah, that was him, helping people when they needed it. As they talked, Izuku was on the other side of the door, smiling with a few tears in his eyes. Eri. Dad, why are you crying? Izuku. I'm fine, Eri. I just got something in my eye. Eri wipes her tears with her small hands. Izuku smiles and pats Eri's head. Izuku is about to knock on the door until it opens. Aizawa and Inko Milan and Izuku with regret. Izuku and Eri stare at the two. Eri and Izuku. Hola. Inko sees Izuku and starts crying. She runs to Izuku and hugs him with all her strength. Inko. My baby, you're okay. She says while crying in his arms. Izuku. I'm sorry mom, I didn't mean to worry you. Aizawa joins the hug, surprising Izuku. Aizawa. It's good to have you back, problem child. Izuku. I missed you too, but I won't stay here. Inko. Why? Izuku. I saw what happened earlier today. Aizawa. Well, I guess that's a good reason. Izuku. So I wanted to know if you wanted to come with me. Inko. Of course I'll go, I don't want to leave my sweet boy alone. Izuku blushes in embarrassment. Izuku. Well then, do you want to come with Mr. Aizawa? Aizawa thinks for a moment and looks at Inko. Aizawa. I guess so. Izuku. Okay, then go to the back of the motel while I get some things from my room. Aizawa and Inko leave the room and head to the back of the motel. Izuku and Eri go to Izuku's room and he grabs all of his and Eri's clothes and puts them in his backpack. Izuku. Okay, are you ready to go, Eri? Eri. I'm dad. She says this while holding a pocket knife. Izuku. Eri, where did you get that? Eri. Uncle Bakugo gave it to me. He said I should have something to protect myself. Izuku knows Bakugo was right, but he still had to kick his ass for giving Eri a pocket knife. Izuku. It's okay, honey, just be careful with that, I don't want you to get hurt. Eri. It's okay, dad. He says as he puts the knife in his pocket. Izuku takes Eri's hand and leaves the room. Izuku and Eri are at the back of the motel with the others. Izuku. Okay, everyone ready to go? All. Yes. They are about to leave until a group of students stops them. Akahoa. What? Izuku and the others turn and look at the students behind them. Izuku. Oh shit, Izuku. Oh shit, he said as he turned around and saw a group of students. Uraraka. You're alive. Momo. Izuku, you're alive. The girls who tricked Izuku were about to go hug him until the other girls with Izuku stopped them. Kendo. Wait a minute. Setsuna. Now that Izuku's back, do you think he'll just forgive you? Sue. What do you mean, Hiro? Mina. He knows what you cheaters did. Uraraka. Whatever they told you, Izuku, it's a lie. Izuku. Kuleid Uraraka. Everyone fell silent. Those who were trying to stop Izuku and the others from leaving were surprised when he yelled at Uraraka. While the others were secretly proud of Izuku. Izuku. I saw what the girls did and I can't forgive what they've done. The cheaters remained silent, while the boys who were with them felt guilty about their actions. May. We're leaving and you can't stop us. Momo pulls out her knife and the other cheaters do too. Momo. Look at us. They were about to fight until Bakugo shot his gun in the air, scaring the cheaters. Bakugo. Don't even try it, I could kill them all right here, but there are kids here, so I'm doing my best to hold back. Izuku. Girls, climb to the top of the building and take the children with you, this could get complicated. The girls and women agree and leave the motel. They are about to be stopped by Uraraka, who charges at them until Kiri pushes her to the ground. Kiri. I would never hit a woman, but this is an exception. Izuku Sokka are baits. Kiri prepares his fists and Bakugo cocks his gun, or is it cuck? They are about to kill each other until Vlad and Aizawa stop the fight. Vlad. Aizawa, get the kids out of here, I'll take care of these students. Aizawa nods and helps Izuku, Kiri, and Bakugo out of the motel. Vlad. Now you'll have to go through me if you want to get to them.
He says while raising his fists ready to fight. We then head towards Izuku, who has just reached the top of the building. While opening the door you can access the roof. We see Denki being yelled at by the girls. Setsuna. What the hell are you doing here, Denki? Yo. I couldn't say anything because I was scared. Izuku. Wait. He says as he runs in front of Denki. Izuku. Calm down everyone, he's with me. Everyone who arrived at the roof was surprised and confused. Kendo. What do you mean he's with you? Izuku. I forgave him and he's coming with us. Juru. Izuku. He tried to kill you. Nagant. Wait, what? Izuku. That was months ago, Mina. But that doesn't change the fact that he tried to kill you. Izuku. Well, it's my decision if he stays with us. Bakugo. There's no way you're okay with this, Izuku. Soikachan. Everyone remains silent for a while, wondering if it would be a good idea to take Denki with them. Kiri. If Madobro thinks it's okay, then I think it's okay. Juru. Well, I guess it's okay. Setsuna. Okay, but I'll keep an eye on you. Bakugo. You better not make me regret this, Izuku. Kendo. God. Okay Izuku, I trust your choice. Mina. It'll take a while for me to forgive him, but I'll trust Izuku on this. Mei. If Izuku trusts Kaminari, so do I. Nagant. Well, he hasn't done anything since he joined, so I guess he's okay. Aizawa. I'm fine with that, but I'll be watching you until you regain our trust. Denki nods with his head bowed. Eri. If Dad says he's nice, then I believe Dad. Kota. I'm still not sure about this, but whatever. Mirko. Just be careful with him, Izuku. Mandalay. Izuku, are you sure about this? Izuku. Of course I am, if I didn't I wouldn't have sent it that day. Everyone is confused. Kendo. What do you mean? Izuku. When I sent him that day, it wasn't a punishment. It was a way for him to see that he had done something wrong. Aizawa. It's like when your parents tell you to go to the corner when you get into trouble. Izuku. Oddly specific, but yes, Mei. Well, I guess that settles it. Kiri. Welcome back, Kamibro, he says, slapping himself on the back. Mina. They got along really quickly. Kiri. If Madobro trusts him, so do I. Izuku arrives and holds both of them by the shoulders. Izuku. I'm glad you two are getting along. Denki smiles a little, thanking Izuku in his head. The rest just stare at the three standing next to each other, and Mina sees something no one else sees. Mina. Wait a minute. I just realized something. Everyone looks at her wondering what she has discovered. Mina. Izuku, Kiri and Kaminari look like traffic lights. Everyone who looks at the three of them notices that their hair is the same color as a traffic light. Nagant. Now that you mention it, they do look like a traffic light. Everyone starts laughing a little until Mei comes up with an idea. Mei. Wow. I just thought of a great name for the three of us. Izuku, Kiri and Denki look towards Mei. Mei, the traffic light trio. Everyone laughs even louder for a while until they calm down. Izuku. I like the name, I'm not going to lie. Kiri. Same, sounds so manly. Denki. Why yeah, I like it too. Bakugo. What's wrong with me? Setsuna. You'll be the angry Pomeranian driver, trying to weave through traffic. Bakugo feels insulted and simply falls to his knees holding his chest. Bakugo. You bastard. They all laugh together, and after a while of talking amongst themselves they leave the rooftop and go in search of a new safe haven for themselves. While we are traveling, we address a specific group of students. They are standing on dead bodies and have some blood on them. Uraraka. Finally. Sue. It took you a while to kill him, but it was worth it, Kiro. Momo. Especially with the other guys. Kanoko. Now how are we going to find Izuku? Yui. We'll find a way, and soon. All the girls who cheated on him. He'll be ours, and only ours. They say as they leave the motel with a sinister smile. We see a group walking through a forest. Izuku holds a sleeping Eri. Mirko is talking to Mandalay while holding Kota while he sleeps. The girls are talking among themselves about what they are going to do when they find a place to stay. Aizawa and Inko are talking to each other. Kiri and Denki are messing with each other. And Bakugo is being. Well, Bakugo. Mina. How much longer? She says in a complaining tone. Izuku walks next to her. Izuku. Don't worry Mina, we should be there soon, I think. Nagant. We just have to go through the forest and eventually we'll find a perfect place to rest. Nagant says as he approaches Izuku. The girls notice this and stare at Nagant. Nagant just sticks his tongue out at them. Inko sees this and laughs to herself. Aizawa. What's so funny? Inko. It seems like the girls are competing for Izuku's love. It's funny because I think they forgot they decided to share him. Aizawa looks at Izuku and sees the girls staring at Nagant. Aizawa laughs at the scene and makes Inko smile. We then see Mirko and Mandalay talking to each other. Mirko. I want to ask you anyway. Mandalay. Mirko. What do you think of Izuku? Mandalay looks at her blankly and then starts to blush, earning a mocking smile from Mirko. Mandalay. Well, he's sweet and good with kids. She says while looking at Izuku. Mirko looks at him and blushes a little. Mirko. I know, right. Then they start talking about Izuku and we go to Denki to play rock, paper, scissors with Kiri. Denki draws paper while Kiri draws stone. Kiri. Damn, how did you know? Denki. You always draw the rock first. Left. Oh. Then they both laugh together and then Bakugo approaches them. Bakugo. What the hell are you two doing? Kiri. Oh, we're playing rock, paper, scissors, Bakubro. Denki. Do you want to join? Bakugo. Why should I play a game for kids? Kiri. What's up Bakubro? Are you scared? Bakugo. What the hell? Come here, shitty hair. Kiri. But we have the same ha. Bakugo. Shut up. While playing they walk and see light through the tree. Izuku. Mr. Aizawa, I think we're near the end of the forest. Aizawa looks and sees the sunlight shining through it. Aizawa. You're right, Mina. Yes, he says while jumping all over the place. After walking a little further they leave the forest and in the distance they see a small town. Izuku. I remembered it was bigger. Kendo. As long as there's a big, soft bed, I don't mind. Setsuna. I'll have the best bed. Kendo. What? It's not fair. Setsuna simply makes an obscene gesture, offending Kendo. Jiro and Mina just laugh at the two, while Mei enjoys her time with Izuku. Eri then starts to wake up from the noise. Izuku. Hey Eri, did you sleep well? Eri. Yes Dad, but who was screaming? Izuku. It was just the girls playing with each other. He says as he gives the girls a small look before turning his attention back to Eri. The girls are a little shocked. Nagant. Okay, follow me, I have the perfect place for all of us. Everyone agrees and follows her. Eri. Dad, can I ride on your shoulders? Izuku. Of course, he says with a cheerful expression as he picks her up and puts her on his shoulders. Eri. Dad, everyone seems so short. Izuku. That's because you're taller. Eri. Yes, I'm taller than Dad, she says with a big smile. Izuku sees her smile and smiles a little. Okay, from now on, Mirko, Mandalay, and Nagant are included when I say, the girls. The girls see the two smiling and can only see a father and daughter having fun. Mirko. How come he's so good with kids? She whispers to Mandalay. Mandalay. I don't know, maybe she was a babysitter. She whispers to Mirko. Suddenly, Jiro approaches Izuku. Jiro. Hola Izuku. Izuku. What, Jiro? What do you want to do when we arrive? Izuku thinks for a moment until he thinks of what he wants to do. Izuku. I guess I want to spend some time with you girls. It's been a while since I've had time to spend with you. Jiro. Well, in that case, shall I go first? Izuku. Sure, but I want to spend some time with Eri, I hope you don't mind. Jiro. I don't mind Izu at all, besides she missed you a lot. So it's only fair. Izuku. Thanks Kyoka, he says as he gives her a kiss on the cheek and walks a little faster. Izuku. I can't believe I just did that. Jiro stands behind him and holds his cheek, she smiles and blushes making the girls jealous. The others notice that the girls are jealous and just smile to themselves. And Bakugo just laughs inside. Suddenly, Mirko comes up with an idea and tells it to Mandalay. After that we see that the group has arrived at a large house. Eri. Wow, Dad, look how big it is. Izuku. Yes Eri,
I see it. The house had a large fence with a large gate in front. It was made of wood and had a fairly large backyard. There was a big tree that was in the front and backyard. Aizawa. Are you sure it's safe for all of us? Nagant. Of course, I checked it and cleaned it. They approach and notice that the door is open. Nagant. That's strange, I didn't leave the door open. Izuku. Eri, could you go to Uncle Kachan quickly? Eri. Yes, Dad. Izuku puts her down and she runs towards Bakugo. Izuku takes out his bat and walks towards the door. Setsuna. Wait, I'm coming. Izuku. Are you sure? Setsuna. Yeah, I don't want my boyfriend to get hurt again. Izuku blushes at this, making the other girls extremely jealous. Izuku. Well, if you say so. Then Izuku and Setsuna walk in and look around. They search the front yard and find nothing. Izuku. I'll check the back, stay here. Setsuna. It's okay Zuzu. He goes back and sees a zombie standing there. Izuku. Pissed Setsuna. He whispers to her and she listens. She runs towards him. Setsuna. What? He points at the zombie and she sees the zombie. Izuku. Let's take it out from behind. Setsuna nods and crouches down towards the zombie from behind. Izuku raises his bat and Setsuna pulls out her knife. Izuku punches the back of the zombie's legs, causing it to fall to the ground. Setsuna then runs up to him and stabs him in the head, killing him instantly. Izuku. Good job Setsuna. Setsuna. It was nothing, Izuku, you were amazing. Setsuna says as she hugs him. Izuku. Thank you Setsuna. He says as he hugs her and kisses her on the lips. She enjoys the kiss and kisses him back. Setsuna breaks the kiss and they both put their heads together. Izuku. Let's go back to the others, okay. Setsuna. They then approach the others and tell them it was just a zombie. Nagant. Shit, I forgot to lock the door. Damn, I'm an idiot. Izuku. Hey, you're not an idiot, people make mistakes sometimes and that's okay. Nagant. Yeah, I guess you're right. Izuku then pets her head and she enjoys it, but Bakugo quickly interrupts her and makes his presence known. Bakugo. Move it, love birds. He says as he walks past the two. The two realize what they were doing and stop. They both blush with embarrassment. Izuku. Sorry, Nagant. Okay, let's go in. Everyone goes in and Kiri goes to Deku. Kiri. Hey Midobro, do you have a second? Izuku. Of course. Kiri moved closer to Izuku. Izuku does so and they both start whispering. Kiri. Bakugo, you know, likes boys. Izuku is a little surprised and realizes something about Kiri. Izuku. It is, but why are you? Oh you like H. He is interrupted by Kiri's hand covering his mouth. Kiri. Please don't scream, and yes. I'm in love with him. Izuku is super happy because a while ago Bakugo asked the same thing about Kiri. Izuku. Trust me, he's definitely in love with you. He says as he removes Kiri's hand from his mouth. Kiri. Are you serious? Izuku. Yeah, but you should talk to the girls if you want to find a way to approach him and confess. Kiri. Okay, I'll talk to the girls. Thank you very much, Midobro. He says giving her a manly hug. Izuku. Whenever you want, Kuribro. He says, patting himself on the back. They both enter. After a while of unpacking, Izuku flops down on the bed and Eri is in bed with him. Eri. Can we play daddy? Izuku. Of course. Then they play for a while until it's time to sleep. Izuku. Okay Eri, it's time for you to go to sleep. Eri. But dad, I'm not tired, you see. She says while giving him the biggest smile but yawns. Izuku laughs to himself. Izuku. Come on Snowball, let's get you to bed. Eri. It's okay, dad. She says as she falls asleep in his arms. He goes to his mom's room and gives it to Eri. Inko puts her to bed and Izuku wishes her good night. Izuku goes to his room and closes the door. He turns off the lights and goes to bed. He's about to go to sleep until he hears a knock at his door. He gets up curious as to who it could be. He opens it and sees Mirko with Kota in his arms. Mandalay is standing next to her. Mirko. Kota can't sleep and he wants you. Mandalay. Is it okay if we sleep with you here tonight? Izuku. Sure, come in. He lets them in and closes the door. He gets into bed and the two girls lie down next to him, one on each side. Kota is sleeping on his stomach and the girls are lying next to him nervously. Mandalay. Are we making him uncomfortable? Mandalay. I hope he doesn't think we're weird. Instead of just feeling awkward, Izuku puts his arms around the girls, pulling them closer and the girls blush. They hold Izuku and feel his warmth. Izuku falls asleep and the girls look at Kota and see that he is awake. Kota just winks at them and goes back to sleep. The girls smile and let Kota look back before falling asleep in Izuku's arms. It's been a few days since they moved into their new house. Everyone is in their rooms doing their own things. Bakugo was cleaning his room, he was playing with Eri while Izuku was with Denki looking for supplies. Kendo and Jiro shared a room and talked to each other about random things. Mina and Setsuna were outside receiving instruction from Nagant on how to use a bow and arrow. Miriko and Mandalay washed clothes with the help of Eri and Kota. Aizawa was with Inko as she showed Aizawa baby pictures of Izuku. Aizawa. How did you manage to keep that with you? Inko. To be honest, I can't remember how I managed to keep this. Aizawa was about to say something until he was interrupted by Inko. Inko. Oh, and this was when she first wore the pajamas of a hero she saw in a comic. I think his name was All Might. Aizawa. He looks very happy with that. Inko. He was. She says she remembers the days when Izuku was still the adorable broccoli baby. Aizawa never knew what it was like to have a child. He was never the type to be in a relationship, but he started to feel something whenever he was around Inko. Inko felt warm when she was with Aizawa and knew she liked him, but she never told him. She thought he wouldn't feel the same, which would make things awkward. They both remained silent. Wanting to break the silence, Inko began to tell Aizawa how much Izuku loved playing pretend with her. As we leave them alone, we see Mei with her makeshift workbench outside in the back. He's thinking of making some adjustments to Kiri's brass knuckles. She also wants to do something to Denki, since he doesn't really have a weapon. While Kiri was working out, he gave Mei his brass knuckles because she wanted to improve them. Izuku is back with Denki holding boxes of food, water and other things. The first to notice was Eri and she ran to Izuku to give him a hug. Eri. Dad's back, she says as she snuggles her face into her stomach. Izuku. Hey Snowflake, did you miss me? He says stroking her head. Eri nods and lets go. Izuku watches the girls walk towards him. Kendo. Welcome back Izuku. He says giving her a kiss on the cheek. The girls are a little angry. Jiro approaches Izuku and hugs his arm. Jiro. Did you find everything you needed? Izuku. Yes, but could you help us carry this inside? Setsuna. Of course, Zuzu. She said taking a box from him. The other girls also helped and took some boxes from Denki. They come in and put away the food and other things. Izuku. I'll be back girls. Mina. Where are you going? Izuku. I just need to talk to my mom about something. Mina. Okay then but. She approaches him and kisses him on the lips. Mina. Don't take too long. Izuku blushes slightly. Izuku. I won't, he says as he heads out to his room. The girls just look at Mina. Mina just sticks her tongue out at them, offending them. Setsuna. You know just because you were the first girl he kissed doesn't mean you can brag. Mina. I'm not bragging, I'm just proving something. Jiro. What's that? Mina. I'm her favorite. The girls gasp when Mina says she's her favorite. Kendo. I actually think I'm his favorite. Setsuna. Sorry girls, but you're both wrong. I'm her favorite. Jiro. To be honest, I don't care who his favorite is, I just want to be with him. Mei. Same. Nagant. Well, girls, you can talk about this all you want. I'm happy to be with him. Besides, he knows how to please a woman. He says as he leaves the kitchen. The girls watch her leave and begin to think about what she meant, until Setsuna discovers what she did with Izuku. Setsuna. Girls, I think she and Izuku had sex. The girls wait for the information to arrive and realize what Setsuna said. Mei. Gwa. Mina. I mean, He did it to all of us, but I wonder. The girls look at Mina waiting for her to finish her sentence. Mina. How would it feel if he did it with one of us? The girls think about it and start to blush. Juro. That would be interesting to find out. The girls agree, but they don't know that one of the women was making lists the whole time. Miriko. She blushes at the thought of doing it with Izuku. We go to Izuku's house. He has just taken a shower and is heading to Inko's room. He is about to knock on the door when he hears two people talking. Inko. Thanks for listening, I just felt like I needed to get some things out. Aizawa. Of course, I didn't have anything else to do anyway. They are both sitting next to each other. Then Inko gets closer to Aizawa. Aizawa notices and lets her approach. Then he accidentally puts his hand on hers and she blushes. Inko moves her hand and holds his. They both stare at each other and begin to bring their faces closer together. They kiss and immediately start getting sexual. Izuku hears this and leaves immediately. Izuku. I'll ask mom later. While walking he meets Kiri. Izuku. Hola Kiri. Kiri. What's up, Midobro? Izuku. Do you have headphones? Kiri. I only have 2 of them. Izuku. Great, could I have them just for tonight? Kiri. Sure, but why? Izuku. You'll understand tonight. He says as they both walk towards Kiri's room. Let's go see Miriko who is talking to Mandalay. Mandalay. Do you think we should tell him? Miriko. It would be better if we do it now rather than later. Mandalay. But what if he doesn't feel the same? Miriko. Then it's okay. Mandalay. Okay, Miriko. And if he says yes, then I'll go first. Mandalay. Oh okay, I don't think I'm ready to go that far. Miriko. Great, now let's go find him. Then they both leave their room in search of Izuku. We see Bakugo who is with Mei. Mei. So you want me to modify your weapon? Bakugo. Yes, you can. He says challenging her. Mei. What, you think I can't? Bakugo. Well, it's just that I've never seen you work on a weapon, so I'm just stating facts. Mei. Well then let's make a deal. Bakugo looks at her and is interested. Bakugo. Oh yeah, and what is it? Mei. If I upgrade your weapon, it will help me spend more time with Izuku. Bakugo. What if you can't? Mei was about to say something but nothing came out of her mouth. Mei. I don't know. Bakugo thinks for a bit and then comes up with an idea. Bakugo. If you can't, I'll stop you from spending time with Izuku. She looks at him with a surprised face. She shakes her head and looks at Bakugo. Bakugo then extends his hand in front of him and Mei. Bakugo. Deal. Mei. Deal, she says shaking his hand. We return to Izuku who is playing with Eri and Kota. Eri. Louder, Dad. Kota. Yes, higher. They both hold onto Izuku's arms as he does pull-ups. He lets go of them and they all fall to the ground. Eri and Kota are on top of Izuku and the 3 of them laugh. Izuku. Okay, I think that's enough for today. The 2 children groan in disappointment. Kota and Eri. Already. Izuku. Yeah, I know you don't want to, but hey, I promise I'll make both with caramel apples. The 2 boys look at Izuku and have stars in their eyes. Eri stands up and picks up Kota. Eri. Let's go to bed quickly. Kota. The faster we go to sleep, the faster we'll get candy apples. They both say as they run out of Izuku's room and into their own room. Izuku laughs to himself as he gets up and closes the door. He walks towards his bed while taking off his shirt and pants. He gets into bed and falls asleep. And that's all for this chapter, but it feels too short. I'll just add a part that will let you know what will happen in the next chapter. Izuku is sleeping in his bed. Suddenly a knock on the door wakes him up. Izuku. Who could be awake at this hour? He thinks to himself as he gets up and walks towards the door. He opens it and sees 2 women standing in front of him. Izuku. Miriko, Mandalay. What are you 2 doing up so late? He whispers, trying not to wake anyone. They both don't respond and he is confused. He notices that the girls are looking at his underwear. He blushes and apologizes. He closes the door and opens it again after a while, only this time he's wearing pants. Izuku. So what did you need? The girls blush and recover. Miriko. We wanted to tell you something. Mandalay. Yes, but can we go in? Izuku. See Claro. He says as he steps aside to let them in. The girls enter and Izuku closes the door. Izuku sits on the bed and the two women are standing in front of him. Izuku. So, what did you want to tell me? Miriko and Mandalay are trembling slightly and Izuku notices this. Izuku. Hello, are you okay? Miriko. Izuku, we've been wanting to tell you this for a long time. Mandalay. Yes, we've had it in mind for a while. Miriko. If we tell you this and you don't agree, can we still be friends? Izuku now became worried after hearing that. Izuku. Oh, of course, but why does it sound like you're going to tell me you killed someone? The two girls laugh and stop. The two then take a deep breath. Miriko and Mandalay. Izuku, we love you. We see Bakugo talking to Mei and she has made some improvements to her rifle. Bakugo. How did you get the parts for this? Mei. You don't need to know. Bakugo thinks Mei is suspicious but ignores it. Bakugo. Okay, a bet, I'll help you be alone with Midoriya for a day. Mei. Sweet, but how are you going to do that? Bakugo. Just follow my example. Both of them go to look for Izuku. Izuku is currently in the living room with the girls. Miriko and Mandalay are cuddling with Izuku and Eri is sleeping on his lap. Kota is playing tag with Denki and Kiri. Bakugo and Mei walk in and Bakugo gets everyone's attention. Bakugo. Everyone listen. Everyone calls her attention and Eri jumps up waking Izuku up. Izuku gets up and sees that Eri was scared for a moment and stared at Bakugo. Bakugo. You I mean, listen. Izuku calms down and places Eri back on his chest. Bakugo. Today I'm going to take you all to practice your gun aim. Denki. But we don't have any weapons. Bakugo. That's why I'm taking this with us. He says as he takes out his rifle. Kiri why Denki? Oh. Bakugo. Come on, I don't have all day. Everyone stands up, including Miriko and Mandalay. Mei is about to leave until Bakugo stops her. Bakugo. Stay here. Mei. Why? Bakugo. Because you need the muscles to prepare for the kickback of firing a gun, so Midoriya will help you with that, right? Izuku. I don't see why not. He says as he looks at Eri and starts petting her head. Everyone is outside except Inko, Aizawa, Izuku, Mei and Eri. Bakugo gives him a mocking smile before leaving. Mei thanks Bakugo inside her head. After Izuku put Eri to sleep in her room, Mei and Izuku are in the backyard. Izuku and Mei are working out and Mei is currently doing push-ups while Izuku is watching. Mei. How many more things do I have to do? Izuku. Just 15 more and we'll be done for today. Mei. Okay. After a while she finishes and lies on the floor. Izuku. Are you okay? Mei. I can't move. Izuku laughs to himself and Mei joins him. After laughing for a while, Izuku walks up to her and picks her up, bridal style. Mei blushes and puts her arms around Izuku's neck. Izuku returns to the house with Mei and sits her on the couch. Izuku. Well, what should we do now? Mei. Well, I think I might have something. Izuku is interested and looks towards Mei. Mei then slowly climbs on top of Izuku and he blushes. She then kisses Izuku and slides her tongue into his mouth, surprising Izuku. Izuku. Shit, and they both start kissing. Izuku picks her up and she wraps her legs around him. And he walks with Mei hugging him and they continue their makeout session in Mei's room. Let's see Bakugo, who is training everyone to use a weapon, except Kota. Although Kota wanted to know how to use a rifle, he knew he wouldn't be able to withstand the recoil of the weapon. Bakugo. Denki, why are you holding the rifle sideways? Denki. I thought I looked cool, don't hurt me. Bakugo snatches the rifle from Denki and fires a bottle. Bakugo. That's how you fire a gun, you fucking idiot. Kendo. I still don't understand why we need to take weapons lessons if we don't even have any. Nagant. And why am I here? I have a crossbow so I don't need a weapon. Bakugo. Because yeah, all the girls. That's not an answer. Bakugo shudders and starts to get nervous. Juro. Let's go home, it's getting late anyway. Mina. Yes, and I want to see Izuku again. Bakugo. Ah shit, sorry. Everyone prepares to return home. We head towards Izuku, who is back in the living room. They are sitting on the couch and look like they just took a shower. Plus, they're both tired of doing much more than kissing. They hug and Mei gives him a kiss on the cheek. Mei. I'm glad we can have a moment alone today. Izuku. Me too, he says as he begins to hug her with kisses. Mei laughs and enjoys the kisses. Mei. I love you so much, Izuku. Izuku. I love you, he says as he gives me one more kiss on the head. She smiles and snuggles her head into his chest. Suddenly, they both hear people coming through the front door. Izuku. Hey guys, how was your day today? Setsuna. It was okay, but why is Mei snuggling up to you? She says that she and the other girls are jealous. Izuku. Mei was tired after our training session. Mei. Now it's my human pillow, she says while secretly mocking the girls, infuriating them. Bakugo. Well, it's getting late, so get ready for bed and don't make any noise, he says while staring at Izuku. Izuku laughs nervously, knowing what Bakugo meant. The girls start to go to their rooms staring at Mei before disappearing from her and Izuku's sight. Izuku. Well, I should go too. Mei. Oh, she says somewhat disappointed. Izuku notes her tristeza. Izuku. Hey, do you want to sleep with me? Mei immediately grabs Izuku and drags him to her room. She kicks open Izuku's door. Izuku. I'm pretty sure the door is broken now. Mei closes the door and is fine. Izuku. I correct myself. They see that Eri is sleeping in Izuku's bed and they both slowly get into bed with Eri in the middle. Mei. Good night to both of you, she says kissing Eri and Izuku on the cheek. Izuku. Good night both of you, he says giving them both a kiss on the head. Then the three of them go to bed. We then move on to a group of yanderes who are in the forest. Uraraka. We'll find you soon. Momo. And when we do, Sue, you'll be ours forever. The three. Izuku. Hiro. It's midnight and we see Izuku, Mei and Eri sleeping. While they sleep, someone quietly enters their room. They close the door and walk towards Izuku slowly. They are above Izuku and raise their hands. And touches Izuku's head. Izuku. What? Kiri. Hello brother, he whispers. Izuku. What are you doing here? Kiri. I need to talk to you, now. Even though Izuku was tired, he could hear the concern in her voice. Izuku gets up slowly, trying not to wake Mei and Eri. He covers Eri and Mei with the blankets and leaves the room with Kiri. Shortly after, they are both outside, quite far from the house. Izuku. What are we doing so far away here? Kiri stops walking and so does Izuku. Kiri turns to Izuku and walks towards him. Izuku. Kiri, you're scaring me a little, he says as he steps back a little. Kiri. Midoriya, I need to tell you something. Izuku starts to get scared but listens to Kiri. Kiri grabs him by the shoulders. Kiri. I feel like I'm being watched and it's scaring me. Izuku. What, really? Kiri. Shish, they might be out here. Izuku. So what are we doing here? Kiri. Look, the only way to find out is to see who or what it is. Izuku. Why didn't you tell the others? Kiri. They would have been scared and I don't want them to cause panic. Izuku. Well, let's take a quick look around and then head home. I also feel like we're being watched now. They both then look around and feel uncomfortable. Kiri. Take this. Kiri hands Izuku a flashlight and a small knife, just in case. They both begin searching for the stalker, or possibly an owl. They've been searching for 2 hours and still haven't found anything. They are both on the side of a hill and are tired. Izuku. Maybe he was just an old man or something. Kiri. I don't know. Izuku. Look, let's go home, we can look again first thing in the morning. Someone interrupts him and throws him to the ground. Kiri. My brother. Kiri runs to Izuku's aid and pushes the attacker away from Izuku. Izuku quickly gets up and they both look towards the attacker and discover who it is. Uraraka. Oh, Izuku. Ochako, Sue, Momo and Hagakure appear behind Uraraka. Momo. Izu darling, Sue. Look, it's the red-haired doll, Kiro. Hagakure. It's been so long since we killed someone. Izuku and Kiri move away from the assassin girls and stand in front of them. Uraraka. Momo, Sue help me get Izuku while Hagakure takes care of the redhead. Hagakure. Ah, but I want to help kidnap Izuku. Uraraka. Do it, idiot. Hagakure. Bien. She says as she attacks Kiri with her knife. She stabs Kiri, but he stops her, puts his hand in front of the sword and the sword goes through his hand. Kiri screams in pain and Hagakure pushes the knife even further in. Kiri grabs Hagakure and drags her with him, and they both fall into the bushes and tumble down the hill. Izuku. Come on, Kiri. He tries to help Kiri but Uraraka cuts the back of his leg, causing him to fall to his knees. Sue and Momo knock Izuku to the ground and Momo puts a cloth over his mouth. He begins to lose consciousness, trying to get the girls out but he fails and faints. Uraraka. Good work girls, now let's take our future husband home. Sue. What's up with Hagakure, Kiro? Momo. She'll find her way back, now let's go home quickly. The girls tie Izuku up and drag him away. Meanwhile we see Kiri fighting against Hagakure. Kiri is holding her hand and Hagakure just laughs. Hagakure. Ha ha ha, what's wrong? Does it hurts the cute little guy that bad? Kiri was a little scared by the fact that a psychotic girl was standing in front of him, laughing at his pain. Kiri stands up and takes out his knife. Kiri is afraid to say anything, but she knows the only option she has to survive is to fight. Hagakure attacks Kiri and throws his knife at him. Kiri dodges the blows but receives some cuts. He is too distracted to notice the tree behind him. He crashes into him and Hagakure stabs Kiri with her knife. She stabs him in the stomach. Kiri screams in pain and hits Hagakure to get him away. The knife is still in his stomach and he tries to pull it out but can't. Hagakure is on the ground, spitting blood from her mouth. Hagakure. You really made me bleed. He, I'll enjoy stabbing you more. Kiri falls back and holds his stomach. Due to lack of sleep and bleeding, he is unable to get up. Hagakure stands up and walks towards Kiri. She climbs on top of him and pulls out the knife. He screams in pain and Hagakure holds the knife with both hands. Hagakure. This will be the last thing you see before you die. She says while having a crazy smile on her face. Kiri covers her face with her arms and stabs Izuku with the knife but then she hears a gunshot. Kiri listens and looks up. He sees Hagakure who has a bruise on her shoulder. She drops the knife and falls to the ground. Kiri looks up at the hill and sees Bakugo and Denki standing there. Bakugo held the rifle and they both ran down the hill. Denki. Kiri, are you okay? Kiri. Izuku. It's the last thing he says before he passes out. We go to see Mei, who just woke up and sees that Izuku has disappeared. Mei. Where did Izuku go? She thought to herself. Eri was still asleep so Mei slowly got out of bed and covered Eri, giving her a kiss on the forehead. She leaves the room and sees Nagant in the living room, drinking tea. Mei. Good morning, sir. Nagant. Good morning. He said as he took a sip of his tea. Nagant. Do you want some tea? Mei. Sure, I don't see why not. She says as she sits down. Nagant pours tea into a cup and gives it to Mei. Mei. Thank you. Nagant. You're welcome. They both sit in silence enjoying the tea. Nagant. So, how was your day with Izuku? Mei. It was a nice day, he helped me exercise, we hugged and stuff. Nagant. That sounds good. Mei. It was, he says as he begins to remember how he did the devil's tango with Izuku. Nagant. Anyway, is Izuku awake? I need your help with something. Mei. Actually, I wasn't in bed. Nagant. Where do you think it is? Mei. He's probably just taking a walk. Nagant. During a zombie apocalypse. Mei. I mean probably. As they are talking, the first door bursts open, revealing Bakugo carrying Kiri in his arms and Denki holding an unconscious Yandere. The two girls look at the boys in shock. Mei. What happened? Denki. Hagakure stabbed Kiri. Nagant. How did he find us? Bakugo. I don't know, just help me. The screams wake up almost everyone. Mina. What's going on? He says as he runs down the stairs. She freezes when she sees Kiri unconscious in Bakugo's arms. Mina. Oh my god. What happened? Bakugo. There's no time to explain it, just help me, damn it. Mina tells Bakugo to follow her and he does. Denki. What do I do with her? Nagant. Put her in the basement, we need answers. She says as she walks off and Denki follows her. Mei is in the living room and is now worried about Izuku. We go to Izuku who is being dragged by the three yandere. Momo. So what do we do when we get home? Uraraka. We'll make sure he doesn't leave us. Sue. Even if it means breaking his legs. Hiro. Uraraka. If it comes to that, then yes. The girls look at Izuku. They blush when they see him knocked out. Uraraka. If he doesn't love us, then we'll make him love us. Momo and Sue agree and continue walking back to their house. We see Nagant sitting in front of Hagakure, who is beaten. Nagant. So, are you going to tell us how you found us? Hagakure is silent but stares at Nagant. Nagant is tired and angry, so she simply leaves the basement and locks Hagakure there. Nagant heads towards Bakugo, who is sitting next to Kiri. Kiri is unconscious, he has lost a lot of blood. Nagant. Is it okay? Bakugo. He will live. Nagant looked across the bed where Kiri was sleeping and saw that Bakugo had tears in his eyes. Nagant. Hey, it's okay, Kiri will live. Bakugo. I know, but I'm scared something might happen. Bakugo wasn't acting like his usual self and Nagant knew it. But that wasn't the only reason Bakugo was really upset. Bakugo. That's not the only reason I'm like this. Nagant. Why, was there something else? Bakugo. Before Kiri fainted, he said Izuku's name. Nagant's eyes widen as he begins to think the worst. Nagant. Wait, you don't think. Bakugo just looks down. Nagant quickly leaves the room and returns to the basement. Shortly after, Nagant bursts through the basement door. Then he closes the door and locks it. Hagakure looks faintly at Nagant. And she realizes that Nagant has something behind her back. Nagant. What did you do to Izuku? Hagakure. As if I told you. Nagant starts walking towards Hagakure and reveals what he was holding. Hagakure sees that she was holding a hammer. Nagant. Last chance, where's Izuku? Hagakure. Do you think that hammer is going to scare me? She is interrupted by a hammer hitting her in the mouth. Hagakure screams in pain when she realizes her teeth have been broken. Warning. This is going to get a little graphic. Nagant then raises his arm and slams the hammer down on Hagakure's knees, shattering her kneecaps. Hagakure is crying in pain as she is hit by the hammer. Nagant. Where's Izuku? He says as he spins the hammer. Hagakure begins to tremble in fear. Hagakure. Fine, I'll tell you, please stop. She drawls. Nagant pauses and Hagakure trembles. Swim. Continue, dime. It's over now, you can continue reading if you skipped that part. Meanwhile with Kendo, she's outside waiting for Izuku to return with the other girls. Kendo. Where is he? Juro. It's been hours, don't you think? Mei. No, he's fine, maybe he's just rummaging through the trash. Mirko and Mandalay are distracting the children so they don't worry about Izuku. But Mirko and Mandalay are also worried, it's been hours since he left. Then they hear screams coming from the basement and run there. They arrive and see that Hagakure is dead because there is a hammer inside her skull. Okay. I lied, it's over now. Mirko and Mandalay cover the children's eyes and leave the basement with them. Mina. What the hell happened here? Nagant. Gathering information. Kendo. About what? I wanted to say. About where Izuku is. Juro. What do you mean where is Izuku? Nagant. It turns out Hagakure and 3 other girls kidnapped Izuku. Mei. Wait, kidnapped. Mina. So where is he? Nagant. The only thing I got from Hagakure was a damn riddle. Kendo. What was? Nagant. It was something like that. The girls listened to the riddle very attentively. Nagant. The place that used to be sanctuary until its heart shattered. The girls were confused by the riddle but also wanted to solve it quickly. Until one of them solved it. Kendo. Wait, I know where it is. Juro. Where is it? Kendo. The motel. Mina. Of course. Setsuna. Come on, we have to get there before they do something to him. Nagant. Okay, but we need to gather some people to go look for him while the others stay. The girls agree and leave the basement. We go to Izuku, who has just woken up and is being dragged by Momo and Sue. Izuku. Oh, shit. He realizes that he is tied up and cannot move. Close your eyes and pretend to be unconscious. Momo. How much longer? Uraraka. Just a little further and we'll be out of this forest. Sue. So what do we do with Izuku when we get back to the Hero motel? Uraraka. We'll figure it out when we get there. Izuku was listening and was thinking of a way to escape. Izuku. Maybe I can escape when they untie me, so for now I just have to wait. We return to Mina, who was walking with Kendo, Nagant and Denki. Denki. It'll be a while until we get your Nagant. We just have to be faster than Kendo. Those benches are so dead if they hurt Izuku. Mina. Anyway, we'll definitely kill them, right? Nagant. Yeah, we can't risk them chasing Izuku again. The things the rescue group has to defend themselves are some of the things they found during the search. Denki has a hammer since he always accidentally cuts himself with a knife. Kendo has a combat knife that he found in a house. It's crazy what you can find in an apocalypse. Mina has a pocket knife. She's pretty fast, so she wanted the pocket knife since it was small. And Nagant has a crossbow. He always had one, but he also carries a knife with him, just in case. The group then continues their journey to save Izuku from the crazy yandere. They travel through the forest and have many encounters. They have been attacked by zombies, bears and even bees. The bees were there because Denki was hungry. I'm sure you can guess what he did. After a few days of traveling, they arrive at the motel and are in the building that Izuku, Nagant and Denki used the last time they were at the motel. Mina. Do you see where Nagant is? Nagant. No, but I can see the girls who kidnapped him. They seem to be hanging around his room. Kendo. Let me see. Nagant passes the binoculars to Kendo and she looks through them. She looks towards Izuku's room, or what used to be his room. Mina. That must be where it is. Denki. How will we get there? Nagant. I may have an idea, but it will be very risky. The three of them think about it but then agree. Then Nagant begins to tell them his plan. After hearing his plan, Nagant also suggests waiting until it gets dark. They agree and wait. With Izuku, he is in his old room, which has now become his prison. Izuku. I honestly thought my plan would work, apparently not. He says as he has a memory of himself fighting to be free. Which didn't work out as planned. Because instead of freedom, he received a beating. So Izuku is in the room tied to the bed. Izuku. Maybe there's another way to escape. He said, looking around. Suddenly, the door opens and reveals three yandere entering. Izuku. Please let me go. Uraraka. Now why would we do that? Izuku. Because this is wrong in so many ways and I'm not sure you understood it the first time, so let me say it again. He clears his throat. Izuku. Note Amo. The three are unfazed and simply walk towards Izuku. Momo. You're just in denial, Izuku. You can't call me that, Yayorozu. Sue. Maybe we can change your mind, Zuzu. Hero. Izuku. First, stop calling me that. And second, there's nothing you can do to make me fall in love with you ever again. Uraraka. Let's test that theory. He says as the girls begin to undress. Izuku. No, get away from me. Sue. But how can we, Hiro? Momo. You're so cute. Uraraka. Especially when you cry. She says, blushing. Izuku. What's wrong with you? Momo then climbs on top of him and kisses his neck. Izuku. Détente. Then Sue goes behind him and puts her hands under his shirt. Izuku. Please, détente. Uraraka then begins to take off her pants. Izuku starts to get scared and cry. Izuku. Get off me, please. Momo then kisses him on the mouth, silencing him. Izuku starts crying because he's about to be raped. God. I hate this, I'm so sorry, Izuku loudly crying. Suddenly, the door the yanderes came through bursts open, revealing Izuku's flavors. The girls are the first to run and see the yanderes raping Izuku. The girls are beyond angry and Denki is in shock. Kendo. Get off him. Momo. Or what? Kendo and the other girls take out their weapons and the yanderes smile. The yanderes put their clothes back on and take out their knives. Uraraka. We'll be right back, Izu-kun. We just have to deal with some uninvited guests. She says as Mina stares at her. Momo. And when we're done, we'll have a lot of fun, Izu. She says and Kendo is ready to beat her up. Sue. And you will be with us forever, Zuzu, hero. Nagant just looks at her with killing intent. While the yanderes are distracted, Denki sneaks up on Izuku and begins to untie the rope holding him. The yanderes run past the girls outside and the girls follow them. Denki releases Izuku and puts him on his feet. Denki. Are you okay, Izubro? Izuku. I think so. He says as he takes a step and screams in pain. Denki catches Izuku before he falls to the ground. Denki. What's wrong, Izuku? My leg. Denki looks at his leg and sees that it has a cut. Denki. Jesus, that looks bad. Izuku. We need to help the girls. Denki. No, I have to take you somewhere safe, besides the girls know what they're doing. Izuku. Kuro. Denki. No way bro, now stop complaining and let's go. Izuku. But I can't just. Denki. Listen to me, damn it. Izuku is surprised that Denki yelled at him. Denki. Girls know what they're doing, just trust them, okay? Izuku. Oh okay, I'll trust them. But when you get me to a safe place, go help them, okay? Denki. I will, now let's go. He says as he extends his hand. Izuku grabs him and Denki lifts him up. Denki then helps Izuku out of the room and they start leaving the hotel. While Denki escorts Izuku to safety, the girls have their own fights. Kendo faces Momo. Mina is meeting Uraraka. Why Nagant clashed with Sue. First we go to Kendo, who is fighting with Momo. They are outside in the motel parking lot. Momo. It's so good to see you, Kendo. She says in a sarcastic voice. Kendo. I didn't miss you one bit. Momo. Oh, that's a shame. You know we could both have Izuku if you help me get the other girls out. Kendo. I'd be as bad as you and the other two. Momo. Come on, we can have Izuku all to ourselves for the rest of our lives. Kendo. No, I don't care what you have to offer. Momo sighs in disappointment. Momo. We could have had a much better time. I guess I'll have it all to myself, because after I'm done with you, I'll kill the other girls, including the ones who helped me kidnap my beloved Izuku. Kendo. So they were just pawns. Momo. Exactly, now stay still so I can finish this quickly. She says as she lunges at the Kendo with a knife. Momo tries to hit, but Kendo dodges it with his sword. Kendo takes out his combat knife and cuts Momo. Momo dodges to the side but receives a small cut. Momo. Damn, you really got me, never mind, this will just make your death more satisfying. Momo lunges at her once more, but this time she gives her a Kendo kick and pushes her back. Kendo holds her stomach in pain and Momo swings her knife at Kendo while she is distracted. Kendo realizes it and barely dodges it, but receives a deep cut on his arm. She holds her arm and feels pain. Kendo looks at Momo and sees that Momo is attacking her once again. Momo goes to cut off her leg but Kendo jumps on the sword, and while in the air kicks Momo in the head, leaving her stunned. While Momo is stunned, Kendo stabs Momo in the leg. Momo screams and Kendo pulls out the knife. As Momo turns around, she brandishes her knife in Kendo. Kendo jumps back, dodging the sword. They are both a few feet away from each other. They both stare at each other while holding the cuts. Momo. You're fucking dead for that. Kendo. Let's see if you keep your word. They both charge at each other and we move on to Mina. Mina is at the back of the motel, dodging the swords Uraraka throws at her. Uraraka. Stay still, she says as she runs towards Mina once again. Mina. Back off, he says as he jumps to the side. Mina then attacks Uraraka and cuts her a bit. Uraraka winces in pain but elbows Mina, causing her to fall to the ground as she holds her stomach in pain. This gives Uraraka the opportunity to jump on her and try to stab her. Mina grabs the knife when it's inches from her chest. The two are in a power struggle. Uraraka is on top of Mina and is trying to stab her in the chest. Mina is struggling as she tries to survive. Uraraka, give up and I'll do it quickly. Mina, never, Mina says as she twists the knife and pushes it towards Uraraka's stomach. Uraraka screams in pain as she falls backward, holding the knife that is in her stomach. Mina gets up and runs to her knife. She grabs it and turns to Uraraka. She sees that he is still on the ground holding the knife that is inside his stomach. Mina slowly walks towards Uraraka and sees that she is crying. Mina slowly puts the knife away. Uraraka. So this is it, huh? Mina. Yes, Uraraka. I deserve it. Even though Mina knows she deserves it, she feels bad for her. Uraraka. I'm sorry for what I did, I just couldn't bear the pain of Izuku leaving me. Mina. That still doesn't give you the right to kill them and try to rape Izuku. Uraraka. I know. Mina sighs and takes out her knife. Mina. All I can do is make it fast. Uraraka. Please. Mina puts Uraraka's head on her lap and puts the knife to the side of Uraraka's head. Uraraka. Thank you, he says while having a small smile with tears. Although Mina hated Uraraka, she couldn't hold back the tears she had. Mina said nothing and plunged the sword into Uraraka's head, killing her instantly. She pulls the knife out of her head, lifts Uraraka's head from her lap, and gently places it on the ground. Mina then notices that Uraraka's eyes are slightly open. She puts her hand over Uraraka's eyes and closes them. Mina. Even though I hated you for what you did to Izuku, you were still my first friend in UA. She gets up from the floor and leaves the back of the motel crying. Next we go to see Nagant, who is in a room and is beating Sue. Sue is on the ground while holding his side. She reaches out to pick up the knife that was on the floor next to her. But Nagant steps on his hand and breaks his fingers. Sue screams in pain, but Nagant kicks him in the mouth, causing Sue to bite his tongue. Sue has tears in her eyes when she sees Nagant standing over her with the bow and arrow in her face. Nagant. You only talk, but you are nothing, she says as she pulls the trigger, killing Sue. Nagant then pulls the arrow out of Sue's skull and wipes the blood off with his pants. Then she leaves the room. We return to Kendo, which is in the same condition as Momo. Both are seriously injured and tired. Kendo. I can do this all day. Momo stirs and charges towards the Kendo once more. Kendo does it too and they attack each other with their knives. Both did not dodge and were stabbed. They both scream in pain and hit each other. They both drop their knives and Momo attacks Kendo and throws him to the ground, beginning to strangle him. Kendo is trying to break free. But Momo puts her knee on Kendo's stomach, holding her down. Kendo can't breathe and is doing everything he can to get free. She can feel herself fading away and start to cry. Kendo. Sorry Izuku, I wasn't strong enough. Momo starts laughing as she watches the life of Kendo fade from her eyes. Momo. Ha 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 ha, are you dying already? I thought you could do this all day, ha 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 ha. Kendo can no longer fight and his hands begin to fall off Momo's hands. But then something hits Momo in the back of the head. Momo falls from Kendo and Kendo can breathe again. Momo is then beaten to a pulp. Kendo breathes heavily and holds his neck. She turns to Momo and sees Denki, beating her up. After a while of Denki kicking Momo's ass, he gets off her and breathes heavily. He looks towards Kendo and sees that she is holding his neck, staring at the dead Momo. Denki. Are you okay? Kendo. Why yes, thank you. Denki. You're welcome. Kendo. Where's Izuku? Denki. I left it on the rooftop we were on. Kendo. Okay, let's go find the other girls and we can return to Izuku. Denki. Okay, he says as they both walk away. After a while of walking they find themselves in the parking lot, in front of the motel. Denki and Kendo see Nagant, who is covered in blood. Mina who looks like she was crying. And Kendo, which has red hand marks on the neck. Denki. Is everyone okay? Nagant. I'll be fine. Mina. Yes, Kendo. I think we're all right. Suddenly, They hear a scream coming from the building where Denki left Izuku. Everyone hears Izuku scream and immediately runs towards him. They arrive and see a zombie on top of Izuku. Everyone immediately attacks the zombie and kills it. After killing the zombie, they see that Izuku's arm was bleeding. Kendo. Oh my god, Izuku, are you okay? Izuku. Yo. Nagant. Izuku, you're okay, right? Izuku. Mina. What? Izuku. Why yeah, I'm fine, I'm just a little shaken up. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief. Denki helps Izuku up and the girls hug him. Mina. We're so glad you're okay, she says as she snuggles her face into Izuku's chest. Kendo. I'm so happy you're still alive, she says with tears in her eyes. Nagant. They didn't hurt you, did they? He said as he grabbed her face. Izuku. Gee, they just cut off my leg, that's all, he says, showing his leg. The girls immediately attend to his wound. Denki on the other hand got a little nervous. Denki. Why did Izuku look so scared? He thinks to himself as he begins to put the pieces together. Denki. No. The girls and Izuku look at Denki and see that he has a scared face. Izuku. Kami bro, are you okay? Denki is trembling. Denki. Izuku, show me your arm. Izuku say pon tenso. Izuku. Why? Denki. Let me see it. Izuku jumps upon hearing Denki's screams and the girls are a little nervous. Izuku. And no. Denki. Please, Izuku, let me see it. Izuku. And no. Denki then approaches Izuku and tries to see his arm. Izuku. Stop it, Denki. Let me see. Denki finally reveals Izuku's arm and sees a bite mark. When Denki pulled off Izuku's sleeve, everyone saw his bite mark. There was silence. Denki. Did they bite you? Izuku. Izuku couldn't say anything, he was devastated by the fact that he was bitten. Kendo. That's not a bite, I can't be. Nagant. Mina. No. Everyone was devastated, the boyfriend was bitten. Everyone started crying. Mina. There must be a way to save you, Izuku. There has to be. Kendo. Maybe we can cut it. Nagant. We can't, we don't have the proper medical equipment to do this. If we did it now, Izuku would just bleed to death. Denki. Then we have to take him back home, we can save him if we get there just in time. Everyone starts arguing about what they should do. Until Izuku. And no, everyone stops arguing when they hear Izuku. Izuku. I'd never make it in time. Mina. But we have to try, she said as she hugged Izuku, crying into his chest. Kendo. If we could find a car or something, we could save you, he said as he started to cry. Nagant. We have to do it, now get up Izuku, she said while trying to hold back her tears. Denki. We have to try it, man, come on, he said as he held out his hand to Izuku, offering to help him up. Izuku had tears in his eyes, but he wiped them away and grabbed Denki's hand. Izuku. Oh okay, but we have to hurry, I can feel the infection spreading, he said while holding his arm. Everyone helps Izuku and looks for a car. Shortly after, they find a truck in working condition. Nagant makes a bridge for them and they start hurrying back home. It's been a few hours since they left the motel and they're in the woods. They are halfway there. Since they have a vehicle, it is much faster to get there. But as they drive, Izuku begins to feel an unbearable pain in his arm. He screams in pain, scaring everyone in the car. Mina. Hang on, Izuku, we'll make it, she says grabbing Izuku's hand. Kendo. Fast, Nagant. I'm trying, but this is as fast as we can go. Denki is helping Mina calm Izuku down. Hours later they are in front of the house and quickly help Izuku out of the car and start running inside. They kick open the door and see Kiri standing with a glass of water in her hand. When Kiri sees them, she notices Izuku and drops her cup. Time jump a few hours later. It's midnight and there's only an hour left until sunrise. Everyone is standing in front of Izuku's room. Everyone is worried. Kendo and Setsuna are pacing back and forth around the room. Mina and Jiro comfort each other while crying. Miriko and Mandalay try their best to calm the children down, but it doesn't seem to work. Inko is crying while Kiri comforts her. Kiri also cries, blaming himself for what happened to Izuku. Kiri, if only I were stronger. Denki also blamed himself for what was happening to Izuku. Denki, if I had brought it with me instead of leaving it there, maybe it would still be okay. Mei was on the floor crying as Eri ran up to her and hugged her. Eri was crying in Mei's arms because she was scared. Bakugo was standing behind everyone. I was devastated. His childhood friend was bitten and he wasn't there to help him. Bakugo was doing his best to hold back his tears. Izuku's door opens revealing Aizawa. Everyone snaps out of their normal state and looks towards the door. Everyone. Are you okay? Aizawa. They were waiting for Aizawa to answer, but instead they saw Aizawa with tears running down his face. Everyone is scared. Inko. He's okay, right? Aizawa looks down and all he does is shake his head. Aizawa. He doesn't have much time left, the infection has spread too far and there's nothing we can do about it. When they hear the news, Inko falls to her knees, puts her hands to her face and begins to cry. Everyone else starts crying too. Eri. Dad, she screams as she runs to Izuku's room and sees that he is still awake. Izuku. Eri. Eri runs to Izuku and hugs him. Eri. Dad, you'll be fine, right? Izuku. Sorry, darling. Eri. Please Dad, can't you leave me please? Izuku starts crying when he hears Eri begging him to stay alive. Izuku. Sorry, he says while crying and hugging Eri tightly. And since everyone is devastated. Damn, this is hard to do. We see Izuku again as he is outside with everyone. Everyone is watching the sun as it begins to rise. Even though they are sad, Izuku wants them to be happy so that their last moments are happy. Kendo, Mina, Setsuna, Mei, Nagant, Mirko, Jiro, and Mandalay stand beside Izuku as they watch the sunrise. Eri is sleeping on Izuku's lap and Kota too. Inko is still upset about losing the only family member she has left. Aizawa stands next to Inko as he holds her in his arms. Kiri and Denki are sitting next to each other while still thinking it's their fault. And Bakugo is crying while sitting next to Inko. Bakugo is grabbing his rifle because he knows what he has to do when this is over. Izuku is smiling because he's happy to be with his family, one last time. And after a while, that's when they know they have to finish it. Mirko and Mandalay take Kota and Eri from Izuku's lap and hold them in their arms. And one by one they say goodbye to Izuku. Mina. You were the first person I fell in love with, and I don't regret every second we spent together. Izuku. I'm happy to have been the first. He says as Mina kisses him goodbye. And after that, Mina returns home crying. Jiro. You made me happy when I was depressed, and I'm so happy that you accepted my love, I'll miss you. She says while hugging Izuku. Izuku. I'll do it too, Kyoka. They then share a kiss and Jiro leaves after the kiss crying. Kendo. When we met, even though it was only for a day, you still showed us love. I will always love you, Izuku. Izuku. I'll always be in your heart Kendo. He says as Kendo gives him a tearful kiss. She ends the kiss and gives him a hug before walking away crying. Setsuna. You loved me even though I was different from other girls. Thank you for being the one for me. Izuku. I'll always love you, no matter how different you are, Setsuna. He says as Setsuna kisses him. She lets him go and walks away crying. Nagant. You were the only one who loved me, and now you're gone. Izuku. I'll never leave completely, I'll always be with you. He says giving the Nagant a kiss. She kisses him back and is crying. After the kiss she lets him go and hugs him, crying on his shoulder. Nagant. I'll miss you, Izuku. Izuku. Me too. He says as she lets him go and walks away crying. Mei. Please, you can't leave us. Izuku. Mei, I wish I could stop this, but I can't do anything about it. Mei hugs Izuku and cries into his chest. Mei. But I can't live without you. Izuku. I'm sorry Mei, I'm sorry. He says as he starts to cry. He hugs her and gives her one last kiss. He lets her go and she gets up crying and walks away. Inko. Yo, Izuku. Mom. Before Izuku could say anything, Inko hugs him tightly and cries on his shoulder. Inko. I can't believe this is happening, I can't. Izuku. Mom, I'm sorry. Inko. I can't lose the only family I have left, I can't. Izuku. But I'm not your only family. Inko. What? Izuku. Look around you, Mom. We've all been a family this whole time. Inko looks around and sees everyone crying. Everyone cares about Izuku and can't bear the pain of losing him. Izuku. And even if you think I'm gone, I'll be watching over all of you. He says while wiping his mother's tears. Izuku. I love you, Mom. He says giving her one last hug. She cries and hugs Izuku. Inko. I love you too, my son. She says as she lets him go. Izuku. Senor Aizawa. Hey Midoriya. Izuku. Please take care of my mom, she means a lot to me. Aizawa. I'm going to cause trouble for the kid. He says and Izuku laughs to himself. Izuku. It's been a long time since I heard you call me that. He says smiling. Aizawa. Why yes, he says as he starts to cry. Shortly after, Inko and Aizawa return to the house. Kiri. This is all my fault. Denki. It's my fault. Izuku. And no, it's not. Denki and Kiri. But it is. Kiri. If I was stronger, I could have saved you from them. Denki. And if I had taken you with me, then maybe you would have survived. Izuku. Maybe. As he says this the two boys look down. Izuku. But that's something we can't predict. As he says this, the boys look at Izuku and see that he is smiling. Izuku. I don't blame you for this, so stop blaming yourselves. Besides, I'm happy you're both still alive. The two boys start to cry when they hear that Izuku doesn't blame them. Izuku. I'm going to die, and I know it, but it's not your fault. Denki. Left. They both remain silent and are about to walk away. Izuku. Wait, before you go. The two boys turn around when they hear Izuku calling them. Izuku. Take care of my family, that includes you too, brothers. Denki and Kiri start crying as they hug him. Izuku cries and hugs them both. Kiri. We'll miss you too, brother. Denki. We'll protect everyone, brother. They tell Izuku before leaving. And all that's left is Bakugo. Izuku looks at him and smiles. Bakugo slowly walks towards Izuku and ends up in front of Izuku. Izuku. What the hell? Bakugo. Izuku. It's okay to cry, even men cry sometimes. He says while smiling. Then Bakugo starts crying and hugs Izuku. Bakugo. I can't do it, I can't. Izuku. Yes you can. Bakugo. How can you be so calm about this? He says as he looks at Izuku's face and sees that Izuku is crying. Izuku. Because I already accepted it. Bakugo. Bakugo and Izuku hug each other a little longer before Izuku lets Bakugo go. Bakugo points his rifle at Izuku and is shaking. Izuku smiles at Bakugo. Izuku. Before you do this, listen to me. He says and Bakugo nods. Izuku. Take care of Eri and Kota, that's all I ask. Bakugo nods because he can't say anything because he's still crying. Bakugo raises his gun towards Izuku once more and is shaking. Izuku closes his eyes and smiles. Bakugo then begins to have memories of when they were both children. Izuku kid. We'll be best friends forever. Bakugo boy. Of course. Bakugo points the gun at Izuku's head and cries even more. Izuku's eyes are still closed, tears falling from his eyes. Izuku. I'll tell you right away, Kachan. And with that phrase, Bakugo closes his eyes and pull the trigger. Bakugo drops his weapon and falls to his knees. And crying his eyes out. Izuku is dead. It's been 12 years since Izuku's death. They have all grown up and have been living together in the same house. And things changed. Kiri and Denki have been training since Izuku died. They made a promise to protect everyone and they intend to keep it. Bakugo has been teaching Kota how to use a gun. Kota has improved with weapons and even has his own pistol. It was a small gun but he liked it. Inko and Aizawa became a couple and even had a child. She was a girl and they named her Izumi, since she looked a lot like Izuku when he was a child. Kendo has been leaving the house more than usual and Setsuna has noticed. Setsuna hasn't changed much but she has become more mature. Mina has been spending time with Izumi while Inko and Aizawa were busy. Every time Mina saw Izumi, she saw Izuku and that brought back good memories. Jiro has been teaching Kota how to play the guitar since she used to play it. He found it in the middle of the road during his last supply run. Kota wasn't doing well, but he was getting better. Mei has been doing a lot of things since Izuku died. She had a handmade Izuku figurine on her desk. She wanted to give it to him before he died but never had the chance. Now he keeps it as a reminder of the one he loved most. Mirko had a son and he was a boy. Mirko named him after his father, Izuku. Mirko named his son Izu Jr. in memory of his lover Izuku. Mandalay would help Mirko take care of him when Mirko was busy. And last but not least, Eri. Eri had grown, becoming more muscular thanks to Kiri's training. Mei gave Izuku's baseball bat to her, as she believed Izuku wanted Eri to have it. Now we see Eri as she walks towards a cliff. He stopped in front of a grave and sat down in front of it. The sun had risen and the wind flowed through Eri's hair. He closed his eyes and enjoyed the cool breeze. After a while, Kota accompanies Eri and sits next to her. Kota. Are you okay, Eri? Eri. Yeah, I just wanted to visit again. Kota. I see. They are both sitting on the ground, facing the grave. They both enjoy the silence and after a while they start talking to the grave. Eri. Hi Dad, I'm Eri and Kota, we're here too. Kota. Hello Mr. Deku. Eri. It's funny how he still calls you Mr. Deku. She says while laughing a little to herself. Kota. What's wrong? Eri. Nothing, I think it's something nice. He says while giving her a kiss on the cheek. Kota. Whatever, she says while blushing and turning her head. Eri laughs a little and hugs Kota. Eri. Come on, you love me and you know it. Kota. Maybe. Eri. Well, me too, Kota. He says as he gives her another kiss on the cheek. Kota sighed in defeat and kissed Eri on the cheek. Eri. Well, I have to go now, see you in a moment. He says as he stands up. Kota. Goodbye Mr. Deku. He says as he walks away. Eri. Yeah, so Kota and I are a thing. I wanted it to be a surprise, but now you know. She continues talking to Izuku's grave about the things she did during the week. And after a while the sun sets and she realizes. Eri is silent for a moment. Eri. I miss you, Dad. She says as she stands up and places her hand on his tombstone. Eri. I wish you were with us. Then she puts flowers on the grave and cries a little. She wipes them and breathes deeply. Eri. I love you, Dad. He says as he takes his hand off the tombstone and walks away. And we see Izuku's tombstone. The tombstone reads, Izuku Midoriya, a loving son and father. And on his grave there are many different kinds of flowers. And on the side of the tombstone is a picture of Izuku and everyone else. One big happy family. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now we will see you in the next video.